What is going on, Milanisti? How is everybody doing? Today we're going to talk about Milan and only Milan. So we're going to have some guests coming in soon. We're going to start with just me. If you guys have any questions, want to say hello, and we're going to get into the hot topics of the day, guys. We have a lot of hot topics for you today. And oh boy, is this transfer market leading up. Let's see. Bokiller. Hey, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Velkio Vasic. Milan solo con te. When will it start? Guys, it has started. It started in 1899. That's when it started. When will it finish? Never. That's what I'm going to say. Akshay Singh, come on. Nice, I like it. People are antsy, they want to get going. Well, let's start with this, guys. Let's start with this. First of all, let's just start with Donnarumma a little bit. I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, that I hold no grudges against Donnarumma, and that I wish him the best in his career. And I really wish him to be happy, and I wish him to have the future that he deserves as a human being and as a professional, as a soccer player. Unfortunately, things weren't meant to be for us, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But that doesn't mean that we need to be negative and send bad karma to ourselves by hating on a man for, who knows, maybe taking a decision that he was forced to take, or maybe there's more to it. We don't know. We won't know. Right now, the rumors surrounding Donnarumma are plenty. Some people are saying he's going to Chelsea. Some people are saying Barcelona, PSG. You had a journalist on Sky last night saying that the most likely destination is PSG for Donnarumma. And I want to talk about PSG. Actually, right after we stop talking about Donnarumma, I'm going to go straight into PSG, because as Milanisti, guys, we need to talk about PSG. We need to talk about PSG. Love you too, my friend from India. What's up, Akshay? We definitely need to talk about PSG. So going back to Donnarumma, guys, I have a conspiracy theory. And I want to share my conspiracy theory again, because I've shared it a couple of times, but I'm going to share it one more time. Okay. I used to watch a show, which stopped because of the pandemic. Hopefully it comes back. But I used to watch this show that was a TV show on a channel in Tele Lombardia. Lombardia is the region in Italy in which Milano is, Inter, Milan, Bergamo, Atalanta, etc. So this show was on that channel, and it was a soccer show. It had a lot of pundits, a lot of so-called experts. But when I say experts, I'm talking about ex-soccer players from Milan, Juventus, Inter, agents. You had Di Marzio was there sometimes, the agent of Insigne. You had Luciano Moggi, the sports directors. You had coaches, Serie A coaches, Serie B coaches. So it was all, and sometimes you even had journalists from Gazzetta dello Sport. You had Carlo Laudisa, which is the chief and editor of Gazzetta. I think he's the chief and editor of the Gazzetta dello Sport. So in that show, they always had their predictions regarding the market, and they had their, what they heard in their little circles of friends, etc. Now, what they said about Donnarumma 3 years ago, and this was the coach of Arrigo, one of the trainers that worked for Arrigo Sacchi's Milan, right? The Arrigo Sacchi that won, that started that incredible cycle. So this was one of the coaches that worked for Arrigo Sacchi, and he was training Gullit, he was training Van Basten. He said back then that Juventus already had an agreement with Donnarumma and Raiola that he was eventually going to end up at Juve. All right. And the reason is because Juventus has this desire to maintain this tradition of having Italy's best goalkeeper. From Dino Zoff, Buffon, and now Donnarumma. Now, let's see if this is what happens. Let's see if this, let's call it maybe even a passage of right, a little bit ritualistic, I would say, that the best goalkeeper needs to go to Juventus. I don't know if that's going to happen. That is just a rumor. That is a conspiracy theory. But I'm going to add on to my conspiracy theory, which is this. If there is an agreement between Juventus and Milan and Donnarumma, and basically this was all a show. This was all a show that Juventus already had this agreement that they're going to go till the end of the contract, and then Donnarumma is going to end up at Juve. Maybe this opens the doors for other transfers that we have dreamt for. A particular name, Dybala. Who knows, guys? This is completely conspiracy theory. This is completely dreaming. This is rumors. But based on information from people that got a lot of shit right when I watched that show, which is coming back because the pandemic seems to be slowing down. So it seems as if that show in Tele Lombardia is coming back pretty soon, which I'm looking forward to because there's always very insightful information coming from there. Now, I've said this before. Back then, in that show, they had already said that Ronaldo was coming to Italy the Christmas before the summer he came. So these guys are definitely connected. They definitely know who they're talking to. They definitely know what's going on. Sometimes they got it wrong. Sometimes they got it right. So that is my theory. We'll test our theory. All right. So that's about Donnarumma. Let's move on. Forza. DOA, ciao, come stai? Ricardo, hello from Trinidad. Christian Pasmino, I read on Sempre Milan that they say Donnarumma was the one who decided to leave and not Mino Raiola. Yes. I think Donnarumma has already an agreement with Juventus. Ciao. Now, Christian, why do you think he would decide to do that if it's not if for a different reason? Maybe for a different reason. Eastbourne, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Theo is not transferable, right? We're going to talk about Theo right now, actually. We're going to go... Davide Romano says, better conspiracy theory than the moon landing. I love that. Also, we're losing Kassim Bin Nasser for 4 weeks for the African tournament, 9th of January to 6th of February. Yes. Buonasera, Carlo. Come stai? Come stai? Skillard, the twist of the story is Krunic getting the Ballon d'Or. All right, Giroud soon to Milan. What about Balotelli? No, Balotelli is what we say in Italian, acqua passata, water under the bridge. Balotelli, now he should focus on Monza. He should focus on that team and focus on his career. Right now, we need to look for players that are ready for the next chapters in their lives, and they have hunger, and they're serious, some serious professionals. Balotelli has shown to be unreliable when it comes to being a professional at times. I think Hagway had a better season compared with wingers at this point. If Pioli had trusted him, he would have finished with 10 plus goals and assists. He needs to give one more season. And we will talk about Hagway as well. We're going to talk about that. Let's get into it, guys. All right. I'm going to show you this title, and we're going to talk about Theo Hernandez. All right. Are you guys ready? Here we go. We're going to start with let's say, not the lightest of news right now, but we have to face our demons first, then we can celebrate, right? That's the way to do it. Do your homework first, then go out and play. So here we go. PSG is on Theo Hernandez, and Leonardo is a problem. Yes. So we have to come to terms with the fact that the big clubs are going to be on our best players. And that is just the way the cookie crumbles. We can't hide from it. So this is where we have to see if the club is strong enough to hold back, and if the players are loyal to the team. We'll see what happens. But these are the issues we have to face. PSG on Theo. So far, the reports about PSG on that PSG and Theo do have an agreement as far as the contract goes. But Theo has said that if Milan won't sell him, he's happy to stay at Milan, and he won't push for the sale. But again, Theo does have an agreement with PSG, according to the reports. We know that reports can be bullshit, reports can be true, can be not. But let's just be honest, guys. You'd be an idiot if you're a sporting director and you're not going on Theo right now. Remember, who is going on Theo? Who is after Theo? This man right here, Leonardo. Leonardo, a protege of the Milan universe. Of course, he knows exactly what Milan has to offer. He knows exactly the potential of our players, and he knows exactly what our key weapons are. And it looks to me that a person like Leonardo does not want to beat us in the Champions League, but he wants to beat us in the transfer market. Leonardo is a problem, guys. Leonardo is a problem. They want Kessie, they want Theo. These motherfuckers, in the space of 2 hours, they took from us Thiago Silva and Ibrahimovic in one night. In one night, they took those two from us. Leonardo is a problem. Now, what do we want? What are we holding on to? We're holding on to the fact that Milan is in the Champions League, therefore Milan has that leverage. We're holding on to the fact that Maldini loves Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez is Maldini's greatest project. And we are holding on to the fact that Theo Hernandez has said that he is not going to push for a sale. He is happy at Milan. He wants to stay at Milan. Now, as far as the prices that I've been reading, 40 million for Theo Hernandez, I think that's insanity. I'm going to say this right now. If Milan sell Theo Hernandez for 40 million, then guys, forget about it. Forget about it. We're back into the banter era, pretty much. This dream won't last too long. But if Theo Hernandez does get sold for, let's say, 80 million, 90 million, even 100 million, I mean, PSG, if PSG wants to do business with you, you know how much money they have, get the most out of it. Now, if you're going to sell Theo Hernandez for 100 million, because I think that's what he's worth, then you can buy 3 other potential Theo Hernandezes in different positions, and that makes sense. But if Milan sell Theo Hernandez for a player and 20 million or for 40 million, then guys, I don't know. That would be a stupid business. So let's see what happens. I can't say I'm confident that Theo Hernandez is going to stay at Milan because, again, we've seen Chelsea take Shevchenko from us. We've seen Real Madrid take Kaká from us. We've seen PSG take in one night Ibrahimovic and Thiago Silva from us. So if something like this were to happen, it's not going to be the first time. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you think Theo is going to go out? I'm going to read a little bit of your comments and then we're going to move on. But listen, I'm telling you guys, be ready for this. The whole summer, you're going to be hearing this. This is just the beginning. We have all June, July, and then we have all of August. Guys, we still have 3 months of this crap. Right now, it's Theo Hernandez, and who knows how it will escalate. Maybe it's someone else. Let's see. We're just in the beginning, guys. Just in the beginning. All right. I feel sorry for who these could join wrestling like me. Oh, Ishmael. The Interista, guys. The Interista is here. Man, Ishmael, Inter is falling apart. If I was you, Ishmael, I'd buy a ticket to fucking Milano and I'd go under the headquarters of Inter and I'd be protesting because Inter seems as if it's falling apart. Look, since our Interista friend is over here, let's talk about Inter for a second. Guys, Inter is falling apart. You're going from Conte to Inzaghi. That is a downgrade. That is a downgrade, 100%. Okay, we saw how Inzaghi played against Bayern Munich. His team was scared. They're all shaking. They scored 4 goals by themselves. They scored 4. That team was so scared that they scored 4 Bayern. That's the coach that Inter has right now. That guy. And they're selling Hakimi. Hakimi is gone. Is Lukaku going to stay? We don't know. Eriksen already said, wow, this is crazy. Inter is falling apart, and it's fun to see. All right. Let's see. I saw some reports saying Milan blocked Teo's transfer fees in Mexico and don't think he wants to deal with this issue. Yeah, as I said, Theo Hernandez has stated that he's not going to push for the sale. He's not going to push for it. So if Milan, it's up to Milan. Milan have to make Milan. The thing that I want from Milan is what Galliani used to do. Galliani used to reassure the fans, and it was also a way to reiterate the fact that Milan is a great club. Like, right? It's in a way media propaganda. What would he do? He'd come out and he would say, you know, Milan does not sell its best players. Incredibile. I would like to hear that from this management. I would like to hear those kind of words. I would like to hear them be aggressive against the players that want to get us. But remember, guys, Leonardo is a problem. Leonardo is a problem. All right. It's a good test to see exactly what our owners are made of and what they have on. Exactly, Skillard. Guys, there won't be any major changes until after the Euros. I think so too. I think right now, before the Euros, you're going to get like the role players. Well, I mean, Barcelona have secured Agüero, right? So that is a pretty big player. But I think most of the hot moments of this summer, of this transfer market, are going to happen in August. Usually that's when they happen. So guys, we have 2 months of fucking rumors. It's going to be crazy. Looking forward to the Euros. All right, guys, read a few comments when we move on to the next subject. That's exactly what I want to see in the newspapers. Theo, incredibile. Maldini, show us. Tell us. Fuck off and go support your right side. Let's see. We have some banter here between. Go back to your Calciopoli cheating team and knows they should be celebrating for. That is funny. Agüero isn't playing in the Euros. Yeah. No, but for sure, Skillard, most of the transfer market is going to happen after the Euros. I have no doubt about that. All right, let's move on to the next subject. So that's what we have about Theo. Let's move on to Diaz. Diaz wants to stay, and now today, by Mr. Carlo Pellegatti, as some of you guys know. Milanista Doc, he on his channel said that Ancelotti is going to be the next coach of Real Madrid. It seems as if they already have. It seems the way he said it. It seems as if it's a done deal. Ancelotti is going to go to Real Madrid. So now, what are the issues with Real Madrid? We don't really have many issues with Real Madrid. Real Madrid has been a team that has been kind to us, right? Theo Hernandez, for example, Diaz, for example. So as far as reports goes, Diaz has stated that he had a great, Isborn says Ancelotti to Real Madrid is official. There you go. Diaz has stated, according to reports, that he enjoyed his time at Milan. He loved the Milan locker room. He wants to stay another year. And it also has been reported from sources that I think are let's say 75, 80% believable. 80, yeah, maximum 85. Guys, you can't be 100% all the time. But Diaz's agent has spoken to Real Madrid and has told Real Madrid that Diaz wants to keep on playing at Milan. It looks as if what they want to do right now is do another loan, but this time with option to buy at the end. So we'll see if that happens. Or obligation to buy. I am pretty happy about this. I think Diaz should stay in Milan. I think Diaz is perfect for the kind of football that Milan plays. I think He is a youngster that is humble enough to be on the bench when you need him on the bench, and come in during the game and create damage. He's also a player that can start. This is a very good player if you want to have depth in your squad. So 100% yes to Diaz. Let's hope this goes to fruition. Now, the problem is Ancelotti. Ancelotti is a player that likes, talented players. He likes the technical players. We know Ancelotti very well. Ancelotti likes to play il bel gioco, the beautiful game. So I wonder if Ancelotti is going to push for Diaz to stay at Real Madrid. Maybe Ancelotti can give us, a hand, since we have given so much to Ancelotti. Maybe he can negotiate with Maldini and make sure that Diaz stays. I hope so. Let's see what happens. We will see. But as far as Diaz goes, this is the information that we have so far. Nothing much is coming out of a Diaz camp. But I think most of us believe that Diaz is the right player for Milan and to keep on playing at Milan. And I definitely agree with one more year of loan, obligation, or option to buy. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so that's the stories about Diaz. Let's keep on going. Would be funny if we made a move for Hakimi. Yeah, I've seen some Milan fans actually ask for Hakimi. It's not going to happen. Hakimi is 60 million. That's how much Inter is actually asking 80 million for Hakimi, but it seems like PSG might get him at 60 million. I mean, guys, if Hakimi is worth 60 million, or as Inter puts it, 80 million, why the fuck is Theo Hernandez worth 40 million? It makes no sense. Is Patson Daka a possibility? I've not heard anything about that player. Why do Meta Tifosi join our lives? Because our lives are awesome. Is Patson Daka a possibility as a young striker? I have not heard this name at all. It's official. Eastbourne says Ancelotti is official. Will he bring back James to Real? Yeah, you see James, Rodriguez, Diaz. These are similar players, right? They're similar players in a certain way. Ancelotti likes these kind of players, So that's the only thing that I'm thinking that could be an obstacle to retain Diaz, is because Ancelotti likes these kind of players. But they have many players there. They have Isco. They have a lot of players there that play that position. We'll see. It is to be seen. I'm sure also we're going to probably find out after the Euros, the under-21s. And guys, we're going to talk about Italy under-21. I have some things to say about Italy under-21. Yeah, I have not heard any rumors or anything about Adaka going to Milan, so I'm not even going. I have nothing to say about that. If Ancelotti moves to Real Madrid, then Diaz is ours. He's going to bring his boy James Rodriguez. Well, to be seen. All to be seen. Exactly. He stayed at Milan for one season with an option to buy. Yes, that's what we want. We want him to stay for Milan, option to buy. So I'm assuming you guys are talking about Ancelotti. Hey, Roy, do you think Milan will ever return to being a buying team instead of a selling team? Yes, I hope they do. Now, in order to do that, you need to have success. You need to go far. You need to go deep in the Champions League. You need to always fight for that Scudetto. You need to always finish in the top three, at least in the top three. You need to win trophies. You need to win the Champions League. You need to win the Scudetto. You have to be what we say in Italian, a club al vertice, basically of the edge, right? An elite club. Milan can become a buying team, and I think with 2 years or maybe just one more year in the Champions League, with people coming back at the stadium, then you have the revenue of the stadium. Merchandise goes up, because then you have the foot traffic that always increases merchandise. Then you have the TV rights, and if you win, you have to win big games, all right? If you're a big team, you got to win big games. That's the way it works. And once they get back to that status, I think, yes. I think players like Neymar, like Mbappe, Haaland, these kind of players could definitely join AC Milan in the future for sure. All right. I hope we don't spend more than 30 million for a player this summer. Can't risk any expensive player being injured for half a season. I did see something earlier I wanted to just touch on. Oh, what is this? Leonardo is the worst SD in the football history. He let Tuchel and Thiago leave. I think that's a good point. Good point, Eastbourne. I mean, look at that. Tuchel, Thiago Silva leave PSG. Leave PSG with their legs on, with the tail between their legs, pretty much. That's how they made them leave. And now who is basking in glory? It is not Leonardo. It is fucking Tuchel and Thiago Silva. All right, quick parentheses on the under 21. I have a lot to say. All right, first of all, I just want to say something. Cutrone scored a goal, I think a 3-3 or something, and he went and celebrated under the Portuguese fans, and he I don't know, he showed the badge or something. I mean, what? Like, that's stupid. All right, that is stupid. First of all, Cutrone, humble. Be humble, because at the end of the day, you got your ass kicked in your home, sulking your licking your wounds while Portugal has advanced. So shame on Cutrone for doing that. Shame on the under 21. Every single game in this tournament, the Italian under 21 got a red card. Every single game. This is the worst generation of Italian football players I have ever seen in my whole life. And I promise you that. I've never seen a worse generation than this one. So, unfortunately, I want to tell my friends that support Italy, don't expect much in the future. Because if this is the future of Italy, we might as well go and hibernate. And hopefully wake up in 50 years, and hopefully Italy will be back. But we're not going to see much of Italy after this current generation expires. The next generation is going to be total crap. What we saw against Portugal was an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. Absolute disgrace. Defenders defending like amateurs. Cutrone being a piece of shit. Cutrone, I don't give a fuck. You want to be a patriot? I don't give a shit. You do not do that. If Cristiano Ronaldo scored a goal against Italy and then taunted the Italian fans, I would tell Cristiano to go fuck himself because he's a piece of shit. So I would expect other people from other countries to do the same to Cutrone. Shame on you. Shame on you. And shame on that fucking team for being so disgusting. Shame on that team. Every single game, red card. And the coaches, who are these coaches they're getting? Nicolato. We used to have Cesare Maldini. We used to have, big coaches there. Why are they choosing these no-name coaches to coach the under 21? Very disappointed with the TEGC, with the Italy under 21. So let's see how that develops. I do have much more faith for the men's team, the senior team. All right. What's up, Roy? What's up, Safe? How you doing? That's the problem with many 10 young players, especially. They think they're the shit and think they're the next big thing. Like Cutrone thinks he's the next Inzaghi Karma. Yeah. No. He is a piece of crap. Cutrone does not get any of my sympathy. These guys were losing, 3-1? And then Cutrone scores the 3-3 goal, and he has the audacity to go celebrate under the Portuguese fans. Even if the Portuguese were taunting him, it doesn't matter. You just don't do that. Because if you lose, you look like a piece of shit. And that's what happened. You lost. Metti la cresta, abbassa la cresta. Abbassa la cresta. Oh, my God. All right. What happened was I'm angry at the Italian youngsters. They're not making me proud. Let's put it that way. Pobega, which is a Milan player, we'll talk about. He did well in that game. As far as I know, regarding Pobega goes, is that Milan, because Milan is going to move forward with the system 4-2-3-1. Pobega, they see him as a player that is not suitable for two midfielders in the midfield. This is what I'm hearing. So it looks like Pobega is not going to be part of the plans for next season, even though, as I believe someone said earlier, we have Kessie and Benacer, but we're going to lose those two players for a good period, guys. So it doesn't seem as if Pobega is the guy Milan is going to be relying on, because they don't think that Pobega is a player suitable enough for the two midfielders, which is a great segue to what I want to talk about next, which is Tonali. Speaking about the pivots, so this is the situation with Tonali, guys. So far, what has been coming out of Milanello is that they're not that satisfied with Tonali. I think they expected more from him this season. I even heard that the coach was disappointed with Tonali. I don't know if that could be strategy, just to then, I mean, if you say, yo, Tonali was amazing, is incredible, then of course you can't go there and ask for a discount. Maybe that's how they're looking at it. But it seems as if the deal for Tonali is that they want to ask for a discount. They want to keep Tonali, but they want to negotiate a discount. And that's where we're at so far with Tonali. So Tonali is one of those players that we are going to definitely need in that period in which Kessie and Benacer are going to be absent. I think Tonali should stay. Why? Because he's 20 years old. He has potential. He has talent. And why do we want to make the same mistake with Locatelli? Right now, Locatelli is one of the hottest properties in Serie A. Why do we want to go that route again? We should definitely we should definitely stick with Tonali. And yeah, just ask for the discount. We have 2 months of negotiation. I'm sure they can figure something out. Which brings me to this name right here. Are you sticking to Tonali or will sign Schouten? Now, Schouten, from what I've heard from sources that I think are reliable, Schouten is not real. That is just something that his manager or his agent put out in the transfer news just to, get his profile out there. So that is what I know about Schouten. That is all I know about Schouten. Whether that is true or not, we don't know. But it seems from, again, sources that I think are reliable, Schouten was just something that his agent put out there. And Milan is not interested in this player. There's no interest in this player. I'm reading some reports. Why the fuck are we still showing interest in Scamacca? The guy's average. And we're going to get to that. We are going to get to that. We're definitely going to get to that. Can't wait to see Berardi in red and black. Oh, man, that would be nice. Berardi is definitely an incredible profile. And we're going to get to that also. Actually, let's move on. Okay. Calhanoglu. His future seems to be away from Milan. Also, Carlo Pellegatti today had a report saying that Calhanoglu seems to be on his way, which opens the doors, right? Calhanoglu opens the doors to De Paul. Now, this is a debate that we're going to have for sure today, the Calhanoglu De Paul debate. But let's just talk a little bit about Calhanoglu. I know a lot of people hate Calhanoglu. They don't want to see him in a red and black shirt, and that's just the way it is. Now, what do I personally think about Calhanoglu? I don't think that at all. I think Calhanoglu is a very good player, and I think Calhanoglu would do well in the Champions League. I think Calhanoglu does have the capability to play in the Champions League. As a matter of fact, this last game against Atalanta, Calhanoglu was involved in both goals. Right? Like, if you remember Tonali's goal, which was a series of 1-2s, the first 1-2, which was a super brilliant 1-2 that completely left Theo Hernandez open for that wing, came from Calhanoglu. It was Theo, Chala, 1-2, then Theo went forward, Theo Salamakis, 1-2, penalty. I mean, that first 1-2 there was clutch. It was key to winning that game. Calhanoglu is a player that Milan likes a lot. Pioli likes this player a lot, okay? So for the people that think that Calhanoglu is out and Calhanoglu sucks, it doesn't matter that you think that, because Pioli doesn't. That's the thing. Pioli does not think that. As a matter of fact, Pioli had an interview the other day, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, and he stated which were the players that changed Milan, the players that are the top players for Milan. He put Calhanoglu in the list. He didn't put Donnarumma on that list. He put Calhanoglu on that list. Pioli wants to keep Calhanoglu. Jamal says he was the worst player that day. How can you say he was the worst player that day when he was involved with both goals? I mean, he participated in the first action that led to the penalty with a brilliant 1-2, and he got involved in the second goal. He got the second penalty. So now the thing about Calhanoglu, he's not flashy. He's not a flashy player because Pioli does not want a flashy player in that position. Pioli wants a player that can defend and that can attack in that position. He wants a player that is more of a hybrid fighter rather than a showman. So again, this is not what we want. This is what he wants. So if you have beef with anybody, you got to have beef with Pioli, because Pioli wants Calhanoglu. Pioli loves this player. So here we have a good question. Hey, Roy, do you think Chala has been as consistent with Milan as he was with Leverkusen? I think Calhanoglu had an excellent form between the second half of last season to the first half of this season. Then after the injury and after the contract talks, he had a dip in form. But I think if Calhanoglu did not have all those contract situations, I believe that he would have had a better ending of the season. Now, I think he can be consistent, and I think he is a good player. Roy, of course, he's going to come out and back Chala. He's not going to bash him in the media. Us average people say he's a hander to the team. You think Pioli doesn't see that? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't see that. It's not. He doesn't see it. Maybe we can see it. Maybe we can say it, but he doesn't. He only used him a lot, especially in the season, because there's no alternative. I mean, again, look, and let's. This is perfect. This is the discussion that we needed to have regarding Calhanoglu and Pioli. This is not about Calhanoglu. This is not about me. This is not about you. This is about Pioli. The team they want to get is a team functional to how Pioli sees football. Pioli wants an attacking midfielder that can double up as a central midfielder, as a defensive midfielder, etc. He doesn't want the flashy attacking midfielder that is going to create. I want that. You want that. We all want that. We want to see Kaká there, right? That's who we want to see. But Pioli wants to see Calhanoglu. Now, and who is the alternative to Calhanoglu? It's De Paul. Is De Paul that different from Calhanoglu? They're pretty much almost identical as far as technique goes. Maybe De Paul, I think, has more personality, more character. He's more of a fighter. But from a technical perspective, are they really that different? Is De Paul a flashy player? De Paul is a player that could play in Kessi's position. He could play in Benacer's position, or he can play in what you call it, in Calhanoglu's position. So again, guys, this is not going to be about what we want. It's going to be what Pioli has told the team. What Pioli wants. Pioli wants an attacking midfielder that can back up as a defensive midfielder, a player that can come and hustle and bustle and sweat. That's what he wants. So now it seems as if Calhanoglu is moving away. Calhanoglu has this offer from Qatar that seems to be, which now has come out to be real. That is a real offer from Qatar. Liverpool is interested. Juventus is interested. Inter is interested. I think they're going to give him. I think Calhanoglu is going to be something that they're going to figure out before the Euros, actually. So this saga, the Calhanoglu saga, is going to end pretty soon. And if Calhanoglu is gone, De Paul is the alternative, which I am totally for. I do think De Paul is a step up from Calhanoglu. I don't think it's that much of a step up, but I think De Paul is more of a fighter than Calhanoglu. So if you're doing a high press, and if you want to, because they want to play high press, Milan wants to play high press, right? And they want to steal the ball in the opponent's half. If you want to do a high press, De Paul is better than Calhanoglu. As far as assists, similar. As far as goals, similar. Maybe we'll see. I mean, maybe De Paul in Milan will shine more. Maybe De Paul in Milan can become a superstar. It is all yet to be seen. We have to see. But again, guys, we should think not about what we want, because at this point it has become, I mean, we can dream, of course, and we can put our names out there, but we have to really look at what the club is doing in regards to what Pioli wants. Okay? So, Calhanoglu, at this point, I say, is going to go out, and Milan is going to go in for De Paul. It looks as if De Paul is on his way out. Atletico Madrid wants him. Other teams have asked about him. I'm pretty sure if Eriksen goes, Inter is probably going to go on him. Juventus, yeah, it's going to be a heavy challenge. But Milan has made it clear that De Paul is their main target if Calhanoglu leaves. And guys, if you have a beef with that, take it up with Pioli. Take it up with Pioli. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else we got here. If we want Hakan De Bruyne, then we need to get his teammates from Turkish national team. Which ones? Challas was nice to being a Leverkusen massively underperformed at Milan. Good for 8 months in 4 years. Bring Kaká back. Kaká is younger than what's his name? Than Ibrahimovic. De Paul and Hakan are the same for me. And 40 million for 27-year-old, we better keep Hakan or go for another target who's more young and cheap. All right. And Eastbourne, now you bring up a good point, because something else I heard is that the duo De Paul Berardi is very difficult. It's right now, right today, it's one or the other. Today. Now, maybe tomorrow is going to be different. Guys, remember, the transfer market changes. It's always changing. So it's either De Paul or Berardi, right? And if it is De Paul, then they're going for Ilicic. And if it's Berardi, then they're also going for Ilicic. That's the latest reports I heard today from sources that I think are decent. So, you know, let's see. Okay, Pioli loving Calhanoglu just shows his level and why he's not the manager leader. Okay, exactly, guys. You have to take it on with him. This is what he wants. Now, when it comes to the striker position, I am just as angry as you guys, because his idea of a striker now is apparent. And I'm not even going to talk about Belotti anymore. I'm not going to talk about the names that I want anymore, because I know it's not going to happen. Belotti is most likely not going to Milan. Belotti is not the profile that Pioli is looking for. That's the player I wanted for Milan. But now, if he ends up at Milan, who knows? You never know, guys. At the end of the day, we could end this the transfer market with having lost a few players, but then getting like super players. The transfer market is always crazy. We'll get into Pioli's wish list in a second. I want to see Hagway in number 10 role for some games. I think he or Tonali can do it. Now, Hagway is being used as a countermeasure or an exchange player in the De Paul scenario. He could be used as an exchange player in the Berardi situation. My opinion about Hagway is this. Yes, he has the potential of becoming a superstar. I guess we're going to see him this Euros. I don't know if he's in the national team. I think he is. So we're going to see. But if they use Hagway to like get to another player, I'm not going to complain, guys. I'm not going to complain. If Hagway, you can state that if Hagway was all that, he would have showed it in training, right? I mean, okay, look at Kaká, right? When Kaká came into training, in one day he took away Rui Costa's spot. One day. Right? I mean, of course, I'm exaggerating. I'm being hyperbolic. Kaká comes, Rui Costa on the bench. I mean, Hagüe comes, that's not happening. He's not taking anybody's. We don't see him in training. And I think that has to do with it. But yes, you guys are absolutely right. Hagüe can become a top player and could be another player that if we use as an exchange player, if the player we get could fail, and then Hagüe could succeed. That is an option. That is a possibility. I don't think that will happen. I think whoever comes to Milan is going to do well and is going to have a great season. Pioli should get Donny van der Beek if we can't land De Paul. Yes, this is the kind of players that he wants. He wants a De Paul. He wants these kind of players. The creativity that they're looking for is not going to be coming from the middle. What they want in the middle is a player that can cover the middle and contribute to the high press, but also can create plays. That can contribute to the goals, the overall goals and assists. But so far, what we know so far is that the number one target for Pioli is Berardi, and that's where the goals from that attacking midfield position are going to be coming. So we will see. We will see. All to be seen. Pioli should get Donny van der Beek if we can land De Paul. Yeah, just read that. Odegaard, I was watching Odegaard. Odegaard would be an excellent option. Odegaard would be amazing. Chala way too inconsistent. Wish we would keep him, but wouldn't be the end of the world if you have to sign someone new. Yes, I agree. I just hope we don't get Pessina and try to start him if Chala leaves. Now, Pessina has been a player that has not emerged. Nobody has been talking about Pessina. It doesn't look like Milan is going after Pessina. So I don't think Pessina is going to... I don't think that's going to happen. So right now, but we don't know. We'll see what else happens. If De Paul was that good, he would have ended up in a top club by now, and he doesn't fit in the system. It's perfect for Atletico. That's why they're going after him. Do you think we need Icardi? Okay, so, all right. I think that is a good transition, a good segue into the next thing, which is Pioli's wish list. What do we know about Pioli's wish list? Hold on. Let me read this first. Roy, if Milan get Brahim Diaz, then there's no point talking about De Paul or Pessina, right? Pretty sure Brahim's going to... No, because Brahim Diaz is not the Brahim Diaz is more seen as like a second striker, like as an offensive option that can double up in pressure, right? But again, the plan is... This is what Pioli wants. Pioli wants these hybrid midfielders that can play attacking midfield and can play defensive midfield. That's what he wants, or center midfield. Brahim Diaz does not do that. Brahim Diaz is strictly an attacking midfielder, and we saw that Brahim Diaz. You put him on the right, the guy got lost. So I don't think that Brahim Diaz is going to be the profile. Brahim Diaz is going to be another option that we're going to use. Hey, Roy, Maldini AD. What does that mean? Pioli's wish list is Krunic in every position. If a manager won't spend big December, their main target is to be consistent in making the Champions League by getting experienced and cheap players like Ilicic, Papagonis, Nova. Yeah, that is an option we're looking for. Icardi came out on Instagram stories and confirmed the news are fake and that he's staying at Paris. Okay. Breaking. What is breaking? Tell us, Youssef. Give us some breaking news. Let's just put all the money into Alan and reunite him with his best friend, Hagüe. Breaking, guys. We have breaking news. Meite is not going to stay, and German Pizzella is an option. Yes, I saw that Pizzella could be an option if Romagnoli leaves. I did see that. We will see. I also heard that Romagnoli might be re-signing. If Romagnoli re-sign, yeah, it's going to be a headache with Raiola. I know it's going to be a fucking headache, but at least we know that we have a player that is going to probably accept the bench at this point, but a player with a lot of talent that is going to accept the bench. Meite, I don't think they should renew Meite at this point because if Meite does stay, then we'll have 3 players that are going to be gone from the African Cup of Nations. So I don't think it's feasible at this point. All right, so let's talk about Pioli's wish list. All right, so the areas that they need to cover are these. Calhanoglu, we've spoken about that. The ulterior option to Calhanoglu is De Paul, because they have similar function. You know, it's functional to the system Pioli wants to play. Other wish lists players. Ilicic from Atalanta, a cheap option. 32, I believe he's early 30s. I think Ilicic is incredible player. His technicality is amazing. And I would love to see Ilicic at Milan. I'm going to say it straight up. Ilicic is, what I heard is that if De Paul comes, then Ilicic is going to be on the right. And if Calhanoglu doesn't stay, Ilicic is going to still come, and it's going to be either De Paul or Ilicic or Berardi. This is what I'm hearing, because obviously if you get De Paul and Berardi, we're talking about, you know, in value, based on their market values, we're talking about close to 80 million. Actually, let me ask you guys this question. I want to see what you guys have to say. I'm curious. If Milan were to sell Theo Hernandez for, let's say, 90 million, and in exchange we get De Paul and Berardi, what do you think about it? Would you be down with that? Yes or no? Let's see. So these are the names that seem more plausible, right? Berardi, De Paul, Ilicic. That's as far as the attacking midfield position goes and the right wing. Now, then you have this other player that Milan is very interested in, the League Two player, the remind me his name, please. Okay, I've been paying attention to this player. I think he's very good, actually. I think he's very good. So I think Milan should go on this player and see how he develops at Milan. I think he'd be a good player, because I was watching him, and his highlight reel looks awesome. Now, okay, I know highlight reels are one thing, but then watching him throughout the game, and each moment of the game is very specific, and a great player is a player that can interpret each moment of a football game the best way possible. So I don't know if he can do that, but as far as a prospect, yes, I want Milan to go for this player, put him on the bench, have him come in as a substitute on that right wing or attacking midfield when it's possible. So let's see if that happens. Oh, okay, here you go. I think you just asked me right. What do you think of Amin Adli from? Yeah. So I think Milan should go for this player. Yeah, and he's a kind of player too that maybe if he doesn't really work out for a top team, a top club like Milan, you can also use as an exchange player in the future. A lot of things that you can do with this player. I think Milan. I'm surprised the top French clubs aren't. I'm sure they are, but I'm surprised that Milan seems to be the team that is mostly interested in this player. Get Milan Krunic out of the club and bring in Bakayoko, redeem Tonali, and keep Pobega for the midfield next season. Now, Bakayoko is obviously not going to be coming back. I definitely agree with Tonali. Spalletti, by the way, is the new coach of Roma. I don't know. I don't think Bakayoko is going to come back to me. Redeem Tonali, yes, 100%. Now, Pobega, I agree with you, Eastbourne. I mean, I think we should get Pobega back. What I heard right now is that they don't see Pobega as a suitable midfielder for a pivot, for the double pivot. So it looks like they're not planning. But we'll see. We'll see. I definitely agree with you there. I heard fans were demanding Ramos as his contract expires or expired. Yes, I've heard that too. What do you guys think? Is Ramos a yes or a no? I think, Ramos this last season, I think he played less than 10 games or something like that. I think no. We might be getting a Mandzukic. So nobody likes the idea. That's a downgrade. You guys do not like the idea of what's his name going to PSG. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Theo Hernandez should stay with Milan. I spoke about it, Gentil D'Emilio, earlier, and maybe you can rewind and look at it, but I'm just going to say right now that it was an absolute disgrace. Cutrone should be ashamed of himself. Mahrez, yeah, I'm all about Mahrez. Davide Romano, no for Davide Romano. Roy, you're talking as if buying players is as buying apples. It doesn't work like that. De Paul and Berardi have multiple options. Why do you think it's easy? I didn't say it's easy. I said that this is who they want. All right? Guys, look, this is how it works. I'm Pioli. I come here and I say, look, okay, and obviously this is how it works. The director says, okay, Pioli, how you doing? How's everything? So the transfer market. This is our budget. Tell me exactly what you will like, and then, of course, we will do what we want. So they give them the transfer budget. Based on what the possibilities are regarding the transfer budget, Pioli is going to give them a list of 5 or 6 players for the positions that he wants. Calhanoglu being a player that might leave. Of course, Pioli is going to say, I would like this player, this player, this player, this player, in this order. De Paul is number 1. This other guy is number 2. This other guy is number 3. This other guy is number 4. Again, right now we're in the beginning. This is who we are finding out that they want. It doesn't mean we're going to get him. De Paul might probably go to Atletico Madrid, right? Simone, Argentinian coach. Simeone, Udinese, Atletico play a similar style of football, the counterattack football. Maybe that's a good fit for De Paul. I mean, if De Paul is going to go to the Champions of Spain, can we argue with that? Can we disagree with him for doing that? Nobody says it's easy, guys. Nobody said it's easy. But this is who they want, so we're going to just talk about who they want. We're not going to talk about who they are going to definitely get. We're just going to talk about who they want and what makes sense. Zaik, I think, is definitely leaving Chelsea this summer, and as part of Moroccan myself, I can confirm that he would be the perfect fit. Nice. Good. Zaik, I think he just won the Champions League. Is there any chance to get Orsolini instead of Berardi? Now, I'm sure, like as I was saying, the first guy in the list is Berardi. Then there's another one. Well, I'm sure Orsolini is somewhere in that list, but where on that list? I think he's pretty low on that list. Schouten is his gem. Imagine Donny van de Beek, also Dutch in our midfield. Now, as far as I know, Schouten is not real. That is just an agent putting out his name out there. That's the last I heard about that. Donny van de Beek, I have not heard any connections between Van de Beek. What you think about Hage? Hage is a good player for exchange at this point. I think Hage is a good player as an exchange. And if he stays, I hope he does well. But I can't say whether or not he's going to do well. As great as Sergio Ramos, he's injury prone. I think so too. He's injury prone. Bakayoko is still Chelsea player away. We can get him there, shipping him out. Yeah. In that case, then yes. If he's still a Chelsea player, maybe. Right now, Milan and the Chelsea have a very good relationship. A lot of and we're going to get into more into Pioli's wish list in a second. I'm going to read you guys' comments. Okay. What do you think our summer transfer budget is roughly? I think it's around 150 million. I think. I could be wrong about that. Maybe that or less. I don't think more. Dark, give us Theos. Allez Paris. Allez Paris. Hey, Mr. Dark, listen. It's not as easy as you think, Mr. Dark. Okay, Milan is not just any club, Mr. Dark. Milan is a club that has made history in Europe. Milan is one of the most successful clubs, not in Europe, in the world. Okay, don't think that that Milan does not have the leverage to keep Theo Hernandez. And I know a lot of PSG fans that do not know Milan very well. They don't understand how big this club is. They think Milan is a walkover. They think that if you play Milan next year in the Champions League, it's automatic 7-0. Guys, you don't know what is coming for you. Milan is not the club you think it is. It is not the club you think it is. Felix, 22. I would love to see Van de Beek at Milan. I had a lot of Van de Beek today. That's cool. Do you interthink for Dark, please? What? Dark plays for property. No. Carlo Moretti. Hey, Roy, has Milan cooled their interest in Memphis? Okay, so as far as Memphis Depay goes, what we know is that Memphis Depay is right now being contended between a bunch of teams, Barcelona being one. I think with the Aguero coming in, I don't see Depay going in for that. Aguero going to Barcelona could basically mean Depay is not going to Barcelona. I mean, one of them is going to have to be on the bench. They're very similar in how they play, in the position, etc. As far as we know about Depay, it is a possibility. It is a possibility, but it's a small window. It's a small window. Depay is something that if it happens, I'm sure it's going to happen after the Euros in August. All right. If Gigio hasn't signed for another club, then we should offer him the number 10 role. We should sell Romagnoli and get Romero. Romero, best defender of the Serie A this season. Argentina finally has a very good defender. What are you thinking about Donnarumma? Donnarumma, I have no grudges against Donnarumma. I want the best for his life, for his career. I wish him the best. And I hope he does well in the Euros. All right, I'm going to read a few more, and then we're going to get back into this wish list here. Getting a little bit distracted. Do you think we'll get a player that will cost more than 30 million? Probably. Berardi and De Paul cost more than 30 million. So if we're getting one of these players, it's going to cost 30 million. As far as I know, what Milan Milan is looking to get 7 or 8 players, somewhere around there. Now, this doesn't mean 7 or 8 players starting on the pitch. This means 7 or 8 players that are going to be maybe even sent for loan or used as exchanges. I don't know. Right now, if you go to Pioli and you ask him what is the formation you want to see next season, he's going to tell you this. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, maybe this is not true, but I'm just going to say. He's going to say Manin, Calabria, Theo Hernandez. Sorry, Manin, Calabria, Kjaer, Tomori, Theo Hernandez, Benacer, Kessi, Berardi, Calhanoglu, Rebic, Ibra. That's what he wants to see. But that's not going to happen because Calhanoglu is going to go out. I mean, at least this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing from him. I'm happy that we signed Tomori and shit, but we're way too clingy. We got to splash the cash. Do well. Just look at it. Yeah. All right, let's keep on talking about this Pioli's wish list. All right, so we know what kind of profile Pioli wants in the attacking midfield position. He wants these kind of players that are similar to Calhanoglu. I don't know why, guys. I don't know why. Like if I was the coach, I'd be like, I want someone that is a little bit more offensive than Calhanoglu. Like, he wants these kind of players. So it's either Calhanoglu or De Paul, right? Those are the two main players in his wish list in the attacking midfield. On the right, the wish list is Berardi and Ilicic. And now we go to the center forward position and why I gave up on Belotti. I'm going to tell you why I gave up on Belotti. It is obvious at this point, based on the players that have been connected to AC Milan, that Pioli's intention is to keep a strong, tall striker center forward. So Belotti is out of the picture at this point, I think. I mean, look at the players Milan has been connected to. Ibrahimovic, of course, tall, big, technical, target man. Mandzukic, tall, big, target man. Can't say technical, of course. Who else? Giroud, target man. Player that tall, target man. Not necessarily big. He is big. He is strong. Giroud is a World Cup winner and a Champions League winner. Giroud is is not the last player. But anyway, the profile is similar. Tall, big, strong, target man. Vlahovic, tall, big, strong, target man. And now the other player that was connected to Milan is Abraham. Abraham, who is a player that Chelsea wants to maybe sell. And again, what is he? Tall, big, strong, target man. So it looks like that Pioli wants that kind of player right there. He wants a big, tall target man to be the center forward. He wants to continue with this formation. He wants to continue with this tactical solutions. And so Jamal says they submitted a 23 million for Belotti. If Belotti does come to Milan, guys, I will be surprised, but more so than surprised, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy. But from what I'm seeing, that is not the technical objective they want. They want a big, strong target man, and to me, I don't see Berardi fit in that role. So, Belotti fit in that role. So that's really it. That's it. Those are the three positions that we're dealing with: attacking midfield, right wing, and striker. Everything else is covered. Everything else is going to be for now. For now, guys. For now. Obviously, in 1 hour, everything can change. It seems as if the defense, Tomori is a done deal. Oh, yeah. So Abraham was a deal that was going to be connected to yes. Actually, before going to let's keep on going there. Abraham was a deal that was connected to Tomori. Okay, so Milan, with the purchase of Tomori, that, by the way, is not official yet. It's not officially signed, as far as I know. But with the purchase of Tomori, they could put in a deal with this Abraham guy, which could be a young striker that could come in as literally a bench player, to be honest with you. Which brings me to this player. This could be Scamacca, could also be the third player that Milan is looking at. Right now, the way things are looking is going to be Ibrahimovic, Giroud, and a young player. Guys, but again, everything that we are saying today can completely change tomorrow. This is the thing about the transfer market. All right? Everything we're saying today can completely change in 1 day. But today, the news today is that what we might see as far as that number 9 position is Ibrahimovic, Giroud, and then a young striker like Scamacca or Abraham. Vlahovic, as far as I know, is also off the table because Fiorentina has asked too much, and it does not look like Milan is going to spend 60 million on Vlahovic. And if they would spend, how the fuck are you going to spend 60 million on Vlahovic and sell Theo Hernandez for 40 million? Impossible. Impossible. So as far as the wish list, that's it, guys. There's nothing else really to say. The midfield seems to be the midfield they want to keep seems to be that one. Kessie, Benacer, the two titolari, the two starters. The defense is set. Calabria, Theo Hernandez, Tomori, Kjaer, the goalkeeper Magnin. I wonder, guys, listen, I want to ask your opinion. I have an opinion for you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Magnin is going to be an upgrade or a slight downgrade? I think Magnin is going to be a slight downgrade, but not enough to really hurt us. From what I'm seeing, from what I'm sensing, Magnin is more consistent, but what's his name? Donnarumma is more clutch. All right. Okay, let's read some of you guys' comments here. Yes, Scamacca looks like could be a third option for Milan. Definitely not a second option. The second option is going to be Giroud. It looks like so far. OFC, Mr. Dark, please get Hakimi. Impossible get Lukaku. yeah. Okay, PSG, do me a favor. Go get Lukaku. Go get Hakimi. It's similar to Salamakers in the sense that He quick and aggressive and fast, but terrible fishing. Okay. Christian Pasmino, Italy under 21 are out. They should have used our players. Yeah, they should have. They didn't use Gabbia. Gabbia is the freaking best defender there is in that team. They didn't use Tonali. I mean, Keane. Why the fuck didn't they? Keane went to guys? This is the Fiji. Keane could have easily played for the under 21. But no, he had to do his trials with Italy, and then they didn't even choose him. And then there was a bunch of other players. I think it was were other players that could have went with under 21, but instead were with the national team, and then they didn't even get chosen, and they missed their opportunity for under 21. Whoever is organizing the national teams is a disgrace. Is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. Calabria had an operation. Calabria had an operation, so he did not go. Donnarumma could have played for the under 21. We don't need Lukaku. We need to extend with Mbappe. Okay, so Mr. PSG here, Mbappe. Yeah. You guys probably should. Now, speaking and going outside of Milan a little bit, since we have a PSG friend over here. PSG, you're my friend today, but maybe not tomorrow. We'll see. Fiorentino Perez is promising Mbappe to Ancelotti as a gift. Let's see if this is true. I don't think Mbappe is going to leave PSG. I think getting PSG out of getting Mbappe out of PSG is pretty much impossible. I don't think you need a huge amount of money. Huge amount of money. I don't see that happening. And at this point, I don't see Leo Messi going away either. But guys, as I said again, anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right, and let's keep on reading, and we'll move on to the last segment. Mbappe will not stay. No to Scamacca. I'll stick with. Oh! Speaking of the under 21, so Portugal had Leao and Dalot. Dalot played from the first minute, so good for Dalot. A lot of people are saying, man, we should just keep on sticking with Dalot. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we, or should we go for someone else? Let's see. All right, let's read a few more comments, and then we'll move on to the last segment. Scamacca, no thanks. I would rather bring back Kalinic. To be honest, Scamacca doesn't tickle my interest. Zlatan, Giroud, Dybala. Dybala. Dybala is the dream. Dybala is the dream. I think if there's one player that all Milan fans, or most of Milan fans are dreaming of right now, is Dybala. Dybala, last year of contract, there's a feeling. There's a feeling in the air about Dybala. There's a magic. Let's see if Dybala can happen. Dybala would be the kind of operation that would happen in August. So if Dybala were to happen, it's not going to be happening anytime soon. But I'm seeing a lot of talk about Dybala, and I think Dybala would be perfect for AC Milan. But now we're just talking about dreaming here. We're not talking about reality. Okay, Dark, you should get rid of the joker that is Neymar. I would take Neymar to Milan. PSG main target, Hakimi 70 million, Theo 40 million. I mean, Theo 40 million is a disgrace. If that happens for 40 million, guys, I'm going to fly to Milano and protest under Casa Milan, because with 40 million, Theo is worth 3 players. If we sell Theo, we have to sell him at an amount that is worth 3 players. We don't sell Theo for 40 million. Theo is not worth De Paul. Theo is not worth Berardi. Theo is worth 3 times those players. Roy, do you know how this financial player works? I mean, how come a club like PSG with no history can spend a limited amount of money on transfer market? From what I've heard so far, that it's still based on what your revenue was. So PSG, has a lot of revenue because they have a lot of big players that produce a lot of revenue. And I don't know how strict they are with the financial fair play this time around, but PSG has right now a limited source of money, guys. PSG is very rich, very rich. We need to add depth on our bench. Yes, we do, definitely. 200 million wasted, Carlo Moretti. Hey, Roy, I'm reading Milan has already surpassed for 40 million US money tomorrow, Tonali Mañan. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But Tonali is not yet official. For the right wing, they're trying for Valentino Liverme, a Chelsea youth has considered a huge talent by Chelsea fans. Neymar will end his career at PSG. We're good. I mean, I think he will. I think he will, because in order to get Neymar, you need a huge amount of money. If Neymar is going to move, you want to think of it as a Ronaldinho kind of thing. When Ronaldinho was starting to go on the downside, he moved to Milan. So maybe that's what will happen to Neymar. Considering que sí me lo sé about, okay, again, guys, this show thing so far, what I've seen, what I've heard is this is just a rumor the agent put out. Nobody has confirmed that Shoten is a target for Milan. All right, let's move on to the last topic, and then we're going to open up the lines. So, Curva Sud meets Maldini. I'm sure all of you guys have seen this beautiful little ceremony that the Curva Sud did at Casa Milan. And, you know, they had this, they pretty much designed We Are Milan, or Milan is back, AC Milan is back, with people, you know, in flares, and they had the drones film it from the top. And then they had a one-on-one with Maldini. Maldini came out and spoke to the Curva Sud, not a big group of the Curva Sud, fairly, maybe like 200, 300, 400 people. And it was nice to see. It was nice to see. The Curva Sud definitely was a big player in this season. The Curva Sud helped, was clutch, and it was key for a lot of the moments. For example, the last game when the Curva Sud went in, literally were in Milanello talking to the players. You had the flares against Lazio. So what do I think about that? I think that I hope that moment with the Curva Sud showed Maldini, hey, like, we believe in you. We mean business. Like, we've waited enough time. You spoiled us for more than 20 years, and then Milan has been in the ditch for 7 years. We've had enough. Now we want to go back to where we're used to being. Oh yeah, and that is true. It is the same Curva that turned their back on Maldini. But this is my thoughts about this. I hope that moment there was a moment that just gave Maldini strength. Maldini came out and he said that, what did he say? He said, Maldini said, let me just think about what he said. He said that, you know, this is just the beginning. We haven't arrived. This is just a starting point. And Milan is a team that should always be a protagonist, should always be competing. And he literally, you know, gave confidence to the Curva Sud that they intend to be competitive. Okay, well, you know, words are nice. Ceremonies are nice. Singing songs are nice. Maldini going out there, it's all nice. It's all nice when it's words. I want to see action, guys. I want to see, first of all, how these 3 months end. I want to see, first of all, what they do in the Mercato. And I want to see, first of all, what they do about the teams that are going to come after our best players. That's what I want to see. Okay? So, yes, Maldini did a great job so far getting Milan into the Champions League. And but the job isn't fit. The job just started. Maldini said it. He said it. The job just started. The job didn't end. The job just started now. So I'm happy the Curva Sud did that. But if, for example, scenario, Theo Hernandez leaves Milan, What is the Curva Sud going to do? You know, are they going to go back there and complain? So I hope that this moment with the Curva Sud and Milan was a moment that gave Maldini more ulterior strength to fight and to show that we love the club, that we support the club, and we want to see Milan a protagonist. We want to see Milan be competitive, and we want to see Milan go all the way. We want to see Milan with 2 or 3 more Champions League by the end of the cycle. All right? Because, you know, these ceremonies, they're all nice and fancy. It's all nice and good. And I guess it was a nice way of saying thank you. But to say AC Milan is back, I don't know about that. You got to prove it to me. You got to prove it to me. I know AC Milan looks like it's back, but let's see what happens by the end of August when the Campionato starts again. Then Maldini, because now it's Maldini. For the last 6-7 months, it was Milan. It was Calhanoglu, it was Benacer, it was Kessi, it was all these players. But now it is Maldini. So excellent job by the Curva Sud. A lot of respect. If I lived in Milano, I would definitely be part of the Curva Sud for sure. So much respect. But let's see what happens. Let's be confident. Let's be hopeful. No fear. But again, words are cheap. As I think here, you're right. Actions speak louder than words. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's read some of you guys' comments. And we need to get the 2 stars for our 20th Scudetto before. Yes, I would love to get the 2 stars before Inter. That'd be the dream right there. Don't piss off Maldini. He'll bring Giampaolo back. I got to say, it was beautiful to see Maldini. And Maldini is such a great figure, man. Maldini is nobody understands Milan better than Maldini. I mean, Maldini is a generational talent, right? His father won the Champions League, captain of Milan. His father won trophies as a coach for Milan. His father beat Inter 6-0, guys. You know the famous 6-0? Cesare Maldini was on the bench. His father won. His father created that. Well, his father was responsible of the generation of Italians that won all those under-21 championships, but then won the World Cup. You know, even Vieri, the other day, he was saying, you know, he loved Cesare Maldini. Cesare Maldini was the coach that propelled him towards, in the beginning of his career. So the Maldinis is a royal family when it comes to AC Milan and football, and I do have a lot of trust in Maldini. I'm curious, like with Pioli, guys. I criticized Pioli. There are moments where I was like, Pioli out. Right now, Pioli, he proved his worth, so he doesn't deserve to say Pioli out. He deserves to stay in. All right, let's see. We need to get the 2 star. Yeah, read that. Next time the Curva Sud will be out again and ride his windshield. The Curva Sud riding. The Curva Sud is full of criminals, buddy. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care. In Maldini, we believe. Plus, no Giampaolo, no. I wouldn't wish him even to Inter. Train every Ultras fan base, got criminals coming everywhere. Yeah. I mean, there are some guys that have a YouTube channel that are from the Curva Sud. You can tell these are rough guys, you know, but whatever, man. I mean, when you go to the stadium, you go to support your team. You're obviously, I'm not a criminal. I'm not going to commit crimes. But yeah, we know that people that are usually ultras tend to have these kind of backgrounds. But I mean, I'm not scared of them. If I'm going there to support my team, then after the thing is done, I'm going home. I'm not, you know. All right, guys. So there you have it. Let's do a quick recap. Theo Hernandez, right now, we have to think about Theo Hernandez. PSG is on Theo Hernandez. As I said, Leonardo is a problem. Leonardo is a big problem. We need to eliminate Leonardo. Not that way. Diaz wants to stay at Milan, so now it's going to be up to Ancelotti. He will decide. Hopefully, with Maldini's and Ancelotti's relationship, they can figure something out. Again, Ancelotti owes everything to Milan. Every single thing that he won before moving on to other teams in Europe came from Milan. Milan is looking to get Tonali, but they're looking for a discount. Chala seems to be out of the picture at this point. Milan has offered him 4 million without the option to go any higher. So I think there is a deadline. I believe from what I heard, it's this week. They need to figure it out by this week. And if Chala does not stay, then target number 1 is De Paul. I did read reports that De Paul is already is selling his house in Friuli there. Then we spoke about Pioli's wish list, that at the end of the day, you know, this is what Pioli wants. He wants an attacking midfielder that is similar as Calhanoglu, a player that is versatile as an attacker and a defender, a player that if he has to defend the whole game, doesn't mind. So if it's not Calhanoglu, it's De Paul. The right wing, target number 1 is Berardi. Ilicic seems to be a target, the alternative target. And from what I've seen today, it is either De Paul Ilicic or Berardi Ilicic. And then the last piece of the puzzle, as far as the striker goes, is at this point we can all assume that Pioli is looking for tall, big, strong strikers, target players like Giroud, like Mandzukic, like Vlahovic, like this guy Abraham, and Scamacca is also in there. But Belotti is a possibility. We will see. We'll see. Guys, the show is not over. We're going to open up the lines right now and go for another approximately 1 hour more, because I'm always curious to see what you guys have got to say. Of course, and then we finished with the beautiful ceremony the Curva Sud did for Maldini and the beautiful interaction Maldini had with the Curva Sud. I think it was quite wonderful. But, you know, again, when it's all words, it doesn't mean anything. Action speaks louder than words. All right, guys. We're going to go for 1 more hour. I'm going to open up the lines. I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say about any of these situations. Aha! And we have our first, not guest, but our first Mr. Laert, RossonARI TV player. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm good. And hi to everyone. Hi to all the 36 people that are looking the channel, watching the channel. How's everyone? Everyone is good. How are you, Roy?
I'm excellent. Just went through all the reports of the day, and now just moving on to who else has opinions. Laert, were you able to follow any of it today, or were you busy?
I saw some. Okay, Tomori, the deal is done. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
I heard Pioli had an interview,
and
he was talking about what I remember saying, like he doesn't care about his renewal. The most important thing is AC Milan investing for the Champions League, so buying proper players to have a great Champions League. What's up, everyone, guys? And stuff like that. The Curva Sud and the meeting with Maldini, that was really cool. That was incredible. I liked it. That was good. Ciao, everyone. That's really formal. Hello, sir.
Zion Train said, I said earlier that if I was in Milano, I'd be part of the Curva Sud. Zion Train said, they're all criminals. So you have to be careful.
No, they're not criminals. They're. I don't want to say something crazy, but I'm sure the club gives them some money to keep up with the activity, with all the expenses to be a part of the Curva Sud. Is a kind of almost a job, I would say, running the AC Milan supporters and everything. So it's not easy. But yeah, that's oh man, going. I watched the player Lucas was saying, the guy who plays in League 2.
Yeah,
Adli,
Mhm.
I think is his name.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's really talented.
Yeah.
And I think if Maldini is gonna go for that guy, we're gonna see something really good.
I think so. You know what? I was watching him too. Obviously, I was skeptical at first because we were talking about players coming from the Serie B, from the League 2. But I was watching him, and technically, he's very good. He looks very good on the ball. He looks very creative. He's a player that, if he can develop, can turn into a great player. Also, as I said also today, because I spoke about him, he's a player that you can, if it doesn't go too well, you can use him as an exchange player.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Depending on what is our strategy, a 10 million for him is a steal, for sure. It's like you can always sell him for a 10 million. You can exchange it. You can send it on loan. Of course, it's not a priority because we know we need a finished product at the moment. We don't need someone that it can be. But if Maldini and Massara go and get the guy, it means the guy probably is ready mentally as well. Because we can see the players, but we don't have the opportunity to have an interview with these guys. We don't know how they are mentally, how ready they are to go for a big club.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks good. It looks good, and he's a talent.
I'd be happy if I get him. I'd be happy if I get him.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll see if that happens. Quick question here: who's your favorite player that doesn't play for Milan? Laird.
Yeah, there's a lot of great players out there at the moment. It's really hard to choose, man. It's really hard. I think recently there is a lot of talks about Kante with Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Defending midfielder. And yeah, he's insane. In that position, he's the best in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
So I can tell you what is my favorite in each position to make it easier. So I would say, as a goalkeeper, I like the Man City goalkeeper, Ederson. Defensively talking, I really like the guy who plays for Lille, the Dutch guy.
Okay.
I don't know. Botan. I don't remember his name. He's really good. And midfield, Kante and Gundogan is good. What else we have? I'm trying to understand. Oh yeah, the two midfielders of Bayern Munich, they are really good. I love them. Kimmich and Goretzka, they are one of the best combo in the midfield.
Nice.
I like a lot Phil Foden. Probably Phil Foden is both.
Yeah, he's good.
Phil Foden is my favorite player at the moment. I think Phil Foden is gonna go far, man. He's gonna go far.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna say one player. The one player that I would say is Enrico Chiesa.
Yeah, Enrico Chiesa is your favorite at the moment?
No. Federico Chiesa. No, not Enrico Chiesa.
Okay.
Chiesa is my favorite. Yeah, I think Chiesa is on his way to becoming top. So I'm gonna say Chiesa. All right, let's move on. Do you guys think this club is capable of another top finish next season? Because my fear is that this season was just a fluke. No, this season was not a fluke at all. We beat every single team. I think it's I don't know if it's definitely a Milan record, but we beat every single team. Some of these teams we beat decisively. The first time we beat Inter decisively the first time. We beat Juventus decisively the second time. We beat Atalanta decisively, I want to say. Not so decisively, but we beat Napoli decisively. We beat Roma decisively. We beat Lazio decisively. Well, Lazio, we beat them with a clutch goal. No, was not fluke at all. This was a deserved second spot, and we're going to see at the end of this transfer market. We can only answer this question. Anything you want to add to that?
The sign I've seen from the player and the manager from this season is they learn from their mistakes pretty quick, and they improved mentally, and they performed on pressure. I've seen the squad making mistakes with Cagliari, but on the other side, a week after, performing against Atalanta and getting the job done. So I've seen them struggling at the end of the season, but still beating Juventus 3-0. So I see Pioli and the players learning every time they lose, or every time they don't do well. So I'm quite positive, even next season. Still, I think our goal is top 4. So definitely we're gonna make a top 4. It's not gonna be easy.
No.
That's for sure.
I think next season we have a better chance of winning the Scudetto than this season. If things go our way. But there are more chances of us winning the Scudetto next season than this season. Of course, again, it depends on the transfer market.
Yeah, on paper, I would agree with you. The only thing is there is a lot of things that we cannot control, like the injuries and all other stuff,
Right,
or how good the other opponent can do. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, because now you're going to have Inter seems to be crumbling into pieces. Inzaghi is a coach that, I don't know, he's a downgrade from Conte. Roma has Spalletti. Spalletti fits that kind of football based on the players. Yeah, Napoli has Spalletti based on the players they have. That's a kind of should work well. So I think Napoli is going to be competitive. Juventus with Allegri is going to be competitive, no doubt. Atalanta is probably going to continue to be competitive. I think Inter is the team that fell the most.
I don't know. It's really hard to understand. It's really hard to understand the motivations behind the players. I think Inter is gonna do well if they lose just Hakimi and they keep Lukaku and Lautaro. They're still gonna be there on top.
Well, I think that the biggest loss is Conte. Conte was the X factor there, and now Inzaghi is not Conte. Okay, Inzaghi is not even close to anything that Conte is. So I think they've lost a lot of points. They've lost a lot of points, literally on the table, by having Inzaghi instead of Conte. But yeah, of course they're going to still be competitive, and they can still win the Scudetto for sure.
Let's see. I'm curious to see. Yeah.
Next season will be the best chance for Milan to win Scudetto if we upgrade the squad properly. Yeah. Let's read a few more. Kante is a great player, no doubt. I will say he is the best ever DM. I don't agree. Tesai was a baller with more honors. Yeah, Tesai won the Champions League, won the World Cup. So far, there are. No, Tesai won two Champions League. Tesai won in '93 with Marseille against Milan, and then won in '94 with Milan against Barcelona. I don't know if he won other Champions League, but he won the '98 World Cup. And I don't know if he was part of the 2000 Euro squad. I'm not sure.
I don't think so, but it's hard. It's hard to compare players from different, period of time. And for sure, at the moment, Kante is the best at this position for the period he's been playing, and every manager loves him. So it means a lot. It means a lot. If Ranieri likes him, Conte likes him, Lampard liked him. I know he didn't play a lot, and Tuchel likes him. The French manager likes him. So definitely there is a proof there that he's good.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he's one of those players that will never stop fighting And these are the players that win you championships, the ones that don't stop fighting, So, and yeah, if he wins the Ballon d'Or this season, I'll be okay with that. I think he deserves it. Let's see what else. Here we have my favorite is Kessie, hands down best in the world when it comes to defensive attack combinations. So basically, the best midfielder of Serie A was Barella, which I think it should have been Kessie. What do you think about that?
I think it's all political. They kind of give a prize to all the clubs that did well in Serie A. So the best striker was Ronaldo, because you have to give it to Ronaldo. Is the logo of the Serie A, is the image of the Serie A. He has to win an award. Sorry, the best and the best player was Lukaku, because Inter won the Scudetto.
Well, Lukaku deserved it, I think.
Yeah, and definitely Lukaku deserved it for sure. Donnarumma best goalkeeper for AC Milan, being second. The best defender was the player from Atalanta. So the midfielder was there between Barella and
yeah, it was between Barella and Kessie. In my opinion, Kessie was better.
Kessie was better than Barella. Was more influential than Barella on the on the result AC Milan got at the end of the season.
100%.
But they're never gonna give two MVP to AC Milan and one to Inter that won the Scudetto.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Larry, this one is for you because I think you know better about this. What is Elliot's connection to Lille? Do we own a percentage of the club?
He borrowed some money to Lille, and he's waiting for that money. So I don't know if he is waiting for the money back, or he already got a part of the club. I think he's still waiting for the money back. So he didn't get a percentage of the club.
Yeah. Which also brings me to the idea of Icone. I know Icone is a target. He's part of the list of Pioli's targets. What I heard so far is that Icone is probably not a possibility because other important teams are on Icone that Milan might not be able to compete against financially.
I saw him. I saw a few highlights of him against Netherlands, and he's definitely is an upgrade to Castillero in terms of pace, technically, and everything. And he's young; he's 21, so it's 20 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is the price tag. You heard how much it costs, basically?
Somewhere there between 30 and 40.
So there is better. I mean, there is clubs with more money than us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the last I heard. It just seems like it's not going to really happen. Okay, all right, guys, let's open up the lines and tell us what you think and what you feel about the current situation. We'll do one person at a time. So, De Paul, Laert, you had a lot of people. Some people agreed with you, but you had a lot of people argue against your ideas of De Paul. Now, listen, we spoke about De Paul earlier in the stream, and I said, and I made it clear, this is not about what we want. It's not about. It's Pioli wants De Paul. Pioli wants a player that is going to be similar. Pioli thinks Calhanoglu is the best option. Pioli's number one option is to keep Calhanoglu, and then if Calhanoglu leaves, it's De Paul because De Paul is similar. We saw it together. Remember when we did that video? They're literally almost the same player.
But I want to ask you a question, Roy. If you think Calhanoglu is the player Pioli wants now,
yeah,
it's cheaper for AC Milan to give him 7 million a year than actually don't renew him and go and buy De Paul for 40 million.
Well, what I'm hearing is that Milan has stopped at 4 million. They want to give Calhanoglu 4 million, and he's got this 1 week to decide.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If Milan is giving 4 million to him, it means that Pioli is not considering a priority.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm not sure would De Paul be getting. I don't think De Paul. I don't think they're looking to give any players that kind of salary, like unless they're superstars.
But that's the point. De Paul is gonna cost you 40 million plus the salary. Calhanoglu is gonna cost you 7 million, and that's it. So if Calhanoglu is the player that Pioli wants, I really believe Pioli doesn't want a player like Calhanoglu. I really believe Pioli was using Calhanoglu just because it was the only player he had. But if Pioli can choose, if Pioli can upgrade, I'm sure Pioli told Maldini that I can do without him. Don't give him 7 million. I can find someone that.
No, yeah, they're not going to give him 7 million. That's not going to happen.
I don't think Pioli sees in him the player he wants. I think Pioli wants better than him.
Well, I don't know. This is not what's coming out. I mean, that would be your speculation. I'm not really speculating. I'm just going with what I'm reading, with what I'm seeing, what people are saying. At this point, I've even given up on Belotti because Belotti is not the profile that Pioli is looking for up there. It just seems to me that from what I'm reading, and look, I'm just going by from what I'm not going by my senses. I'm not speculative. I'm just going by what is coming out. To me, it seems clear by what is coming out so far that Pioli wants that similar kind of player, Calhanoglu or De Paul, and what he wants is a player in the middle that is going to defend, and then the creativity is going to come from the right. He wants Berardi or an Ilicic that is going to bring that creativity from the right. And then up front, he wants big, tall strikers. So maybe you're right, maybe you're right, but this is not what we're reading. This is not what anybody is saying. So it'd be a speculation.
I'm trying to judge on what Pioli choice is. If Pioli wants a player like Calhanoglu, against Juventus, he puts Calhanoglu in that position. Doesn't put Diaz. But clearly he wants the quality Diaz gives, but with more experience and with more game time in his career. Clearly he's looking for an upgrade on Diaz, something better than Diaz, but that style of player. He's not looking for Calhanoglu because against Juventus, one of the most important game of the season, he put Calhanoglu on the side, on the left.
Yeah, but Calhanoglu's defended on the left when it became defensively he was on the left. But when they were attacking, Calhanoglu would move in the middle. He would actually move to the other side of Diaz. Calhanoglu would go literally to center right, and Diaz would be in the middle, and then Kessie center left.
So Insigne can do that.
Huh?
Insigne can do that.
Insigne, but Insigne does not defend like Calhanoglu. I mean, this is the thing, Pioli. Pioli wants a defensive player, and whether we like it or not, that's the way it is. Now, you could be right, and you could be absolutely right. And this is just just theater or whatever. But at this point, I'm done speculating. I'm just going to go with what I see, which is the most realistic thing that I see. And again, maybe, Laret, then you should criticize Pioli for his decisions.
No, I'm not going to criticize Pioli because Pioli has managed the team without choosing the players. This summer, we really gonna know what Pioli really wants because Pioli came at AC Milan without choosing the players. Calhanoglu was there. Yeah. Diaz came the summer Pioli was kind of doing the preseason. So clearly Diaz is a player Pioli wanted or Maldini wanted or the club wanted. So this summer, we are going to know what type of player Pioli wants.
I mean, right now it's obvious. As far as the striker goes, it's obvious. He wants a big, tall striker. Because all the names are big, tall striker. The right wing, the names that have come out are Ilicic and Berardi and De Paul. So we do have an idea of what he wants. Now, if that's true or not, I don't know. Guys, we have a new guest. We have Saif. What's up, Saif? How you doing, my friend? How's it going?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Saif, tell us. Get it off your chest.
Well, so much stuff went on. I don't know where to start. just shout out to the Curva Sud, how they went to Kazan. The best fans in the league, hands down. I don't know how people were saying, "Oh, lads, you have the best fans. Oh, Inter have the best fans." No fans in Italy would do the same, like how Milan did. Seriously, even before the Atalanta game, tell me a section of fans that does this other than the Curva Sud. Well, Inter fans only did this kind of shit only when they won the league. Seriously, so
Yeah.
there's no comparison there whatsoever. No comparison there.
The Curva Sud is definitely special, no doubt about it.
There is a great connection between the fans and not the ownership, who is running the club at the moment. So there is a great relationship between Maldini and everyone who's working in the club and the fans. I feel like we are on the same track, on the same page, which is really good to hear that.
And that's the vibe that we want for the upcoming season. We need this unity. We need Maldini to be like he's trusted, to be even more trusted by the fans, especially with what happened before between him and the Curva Sud. I think that meant a lot to him. It's just about getting the right players, man. This is what Maldini has to do, but also he has to manage with the budget given to him. Because I'm seeing that we're not willing to spend more than 25 on certain players, more than 30, and I'm seeing I'm seeing not even that. I'm also seeing average names like Pessina, like De Paul. De Paul for me is average. I don't care. Like he's good, but he's not an upgrade on Calhanoglu. Especially,
real fast. I think the only upgrade when it comes to Calhanoglu and De Paul is that De Paul maybe his personality is a little bit stronger. That's it. But from a technical perspective, I don't know if it's that much of an upgrade, to be honest with
you. Yeah, exactly. And the way that we're concentrating so much on De Paul, believe me, if he really has an offer for Atletico Madrid, the team has just won the La Liga. They have so much money. He would prefer to join a team that has already established itself. They're basically maybe going to compete for the Champions League next season, and he would be an important player in their system. He can play on the wing, he can play on the central midfield role behind the striker in the 4-4-2. I'm not sure that he's worth all this following from Milan, honestly. No, he doesn't excite me.
But again, guys, this goes down to Pioli. This is the argument is not us. Like, we can hear and talk about what we want and who we want, but if Pioli says, I want an attacking midfielder that doubles up as a central midfielder that can defend and can be successful at the high press, then maybe our criticism should go to Pioli and say, hey, Pioli, chill out with that. We want someone more exciting in that position,
Yeah, absolutely. Pioli is to blame, kind of, for this stuff. But look at Manchester United, okay? Like, just for an example, they kind of play the same formation as us. They have a guy like Bruno Hernandez. Okay, he does all the dirty work, he defends. But look at all the quality that he offers moving forward. It's not just about someone being able to defend and press.
Now,
you need guys to make differences in the game.
Now I want to say this, Saif and Laird. If Pioli was like, hey, hi, Maldini, what's up? Maldini says, okay, hey, our budget is 300 million. Of course, he wouldn't say De Paul is his number one target. He'd probably go with, I don't know, De Bruyne. He'd probably go with the best players there are. Like, I think there are better players in Serie A that I think Laird also identified. Like, Zielinski is a better option than De Paul. Milinkovic-Savic is a better option than De Paul. There are better options than De Paul.
Going back to Pioli wants that or whatever, I'm going to blame... First of all, I'm not going to blame Pioli. Even if De Paul goes to AC Milan, I'm not going to blame anyone because, as I say, that is my opinion. I don't think that's the right player to bring us an upgrade in terms of when we have the ball. When we have the ball, De Paul is not going to give us any upgrade from Calhanoglu. When we don't have the ball, counter-attack, maybe he can do more because he has more character, he's tougher, he's faster, maybe he's stronger. So he can do more, for sure. So the question I'm thinking is, I'm going to be upset if AC Milan buys for 40 million De Paul. Because 40 million is a lot of money. is really a lot of money. And I don't want to see people after a year or 6 months saying, oh, De Paul is a shit player. Why Pioli is putting in the pitch? Well, because they invested 40 million on the player. That's why. So I hope if they really want to do an upgrade, Berardi, 20 million for Castillejo, that's a great upgrade. That's a real upgrade. You see it. It's 17 goals in a league, 10 assists against the two assists from Casti and 1 goal, whatever he has the stat. And Berardi's been playing in Serie A since the age of 18. So he's a real upgrade. That one you can spend even 30 million. I guarantee you're going to have an upgrade on that section. But De Paul, I'm not sure you're going to have an upgrade. Whatever Pioli wants it or Maldini thinks he's a great player, in my opinion, at this moment, I don't think it's an upgrade. And I want to talk with the AC Milan fans, the people like me. And I want to tell them, don't get so hyped about De Paul. Because I don't see that hype. I don't see that player. I don't see that quality.
Exactly.
I mean, if you have seen football for at least 15 years, you shouldn't be so excited about De Paul. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree there. I think that De Paul, if there is an upgrade, it's minimal.
Yeah, it's minimal.
It's minimal. 40 million. Yeah, guys. I mean, this is, of course, this is just the beginning. We have 3 months to go for all this. That's a lot of time, guys. 3 months. So it's just the beginning. I'm with you there, Laird. But if De Paul does come to Milan, I do think he'll do very well.
I'm gonna love him anyway because he's an AC Milan player.
Right, exactly.
And I'm gonna actually think. I hope I was so wrong. I hope everyone is gonna make fun of me at the end of the season because it means he did 15 goals or 20 goals, 10 goals, and I don't know. Yeah. So I hope I hope it's gonna happen like this.
Same here. I hope that I'm wrong in thinking that the upgrade is a minimal. I hope the upgrade, if he does come, is huge. And I'd rather be wrong than right.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's read a few comments here. Let's see what our friends are saying. Antonio says, Pioli never had much say over... Yeah, this is what Larry said earlier. It's true. Roma fans are crazy as well, if I'm being honest. Roma fans are not. Roma fans are the most... Okay, should I talk shit about Roma fans?
No.
I'll save it. The only fans who are on par with the Curva Sud are the Napoli fans. They have... I don't even think the Napoli fans are just... I don't know. What are your thoughts on Gigi's 6 million request to Juve? I think it makes sense. I actually spoke about it, Antonio. I'm going to put the timestamps later. So we're just going to rewind there. Unless you, Laird, or Saif, you guys have it. Hey, Laird and Saif, you just jump in if there's anything that I read here.
I want to say something about Donnarumma. Yeah. I want to talk about those fans that are actually saying we should have sell him for 40 million or we should have renew him at the right time and sell him for 40 million. I just want to tell them, listen, the guy is not finding a squad with zero money. Do you think we can be able to sell him for 40 million? The market is not there. Donnarumma, I know, as a talent can have a value of 40 million, but no one is going to buy Donnarumma for 40 million. Few clubs are going to get Donnarumma for free. So do you really think somebody's going to pay 40 million for Donnarumma? No. So I think AC Milan did the right thing to let him go. Simple as that. You cannot make 40 million with that player because no one is going to buy it for 40 million. All the big clubs, they have the money, they are sorted with goalkeepers. So no one is going to throw out 40 million for a goalkeeper. So that's the fact.
Yeah, I think Donnarumma is screwed, to be honest. I'm not saying that he hates Milan. He obviously loved Milan, but he was pretty sure that we're gonna give him the contract, that we're gonna bow down to Raiola. And now, what they were saying about Barcelona wanting to get him, Barcelona was never gonna get rid of Ter Stegen. The Premier League, all the big teams have top goalkeepers. There were crazy talks about Roma getting him. Like, get real, people. Seriously, he wanted 12 million, and now he's gonna accept 6 million, which I think is pathetic. And that's why I said from the beginning, Roy, that he didn't have an agreement with any club, and Maldini fucked him over big time. He showed that he had big balls, and I respected that about Maldini. So yeah.
Yeah.
Zion Train says Calhanoglu can't dribble past defenders to open up games. De Paul can, and is more flexible on the wing or midfield with more creativity. De Paul is an upgrade to Calhanoglu. Ilicic is cheaper. Another thing about De Paul that we can add is that De Paul could easily play in the double pivot role too. So maybe you can also think that De Paul can add that as well. Let's move on. Vic D. Roy, but if we spend 40-50 million on a dynamic player, don't you think we'll make money at the Gates jersey? Yeah. When you say dynamic player, I'm assuming you mean big players that are in the media, whatever, a lot of followers, etc. These players pay for themselves, essentially. If you win. If you lose, no. If you win. De Paul is a lot better than you think, Laird. He's worth 35 million. Name me a better number 10, same position as De Paul for 35 million or less. Laird.
Well, first of all, unfortunately, I don't work for any club in the world, so I don't really know what is the price of the players. And so I can see the transfer market and tell you, but you can get, I think we were talking offline with you, Roy, Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid. I think his value is around 30-35 million. Icone is a wing, I know. His value is 30 million, but he's 20 years old. So it's a proper investment. You're buying someone that is going to play for you 5 years at least, and you can sell it if it goes well for 50 million, let's say, or another 30 million. Or the same Brahim Diaz. The same Brahim Diaz can be an option, can be someone that you can bet on him the next season. Or De Paul, you can bet on Tonali, play with 3 midfielders and decide to slightly change. If you have better wings, you can play with 3 midfielders. You don't need the middleman over there and working with a striker. If you have a better striker, we can
like a 4-3-3, you mean?
Exactly, 4-3-3, a bit quite dynamic, when the Theo goes up, the wing on the left goes in the middle, and you have a nice combo over there. So there is a lot of option that just giving 40 million to Udinese. That's my opinion. And I really think the Paul value is around 25 million, I would say.
Yeah.
25 million is the right price. 25 million, just go and get it. Straight away.
Yeah. And what else did he say? De Paul also, it comes down to what is feasible. De Paul is a player that plays for a team that, doesn't have big ambitions. And De Paul is ready to leave. He's ready to look for the next chapter in his career with a bigger team. So De Paul, I guess, is an easier solution than a lot of other players that are tied to their teams. Like Milenkovic-Savic, if you want to rip away Milenkovic-Savic from Lazio, that's going to take a major effort because I don't think it's that easy. I think Milenkovic-Savic should also want to go to a bigger club. But even Zelinski is very difficult. De Paul, rather, he plays for a shit club, and he's ready to leave. So that's another reason why I think they are on De Paul. De Paul is more to Inter than Milan. Have seen a couple of times having fun and talking with Inter players. He even did kiss Lautaro on the cheek after they were doing it. Yeah, because he's Argentinian, Inter has an Argentinian connection. Lautaro is Argentinian. De Paul is part of an Argentinian national team. So, yeah, that's normal. I completely agree. I do not want De Paul. He does not fit our style of play and isn't too much of an upgrade. There you go. Yes, like Krunic for me. Not sure what you mean there. Udinese are the 3rd lowest scoring team in Serie A. That's just 3 goals ahead of Parma and Benevento, who are relegated. That's worrying signs. We need a trequartista who takes on and dribbles past players. Unfortunately, I don't see De Paul as that player. Maybe for less than 35. Yeah. If you guys can think of any players that could, but think of it in the context of what Pioli wants. Okay. Can you guys think Odegaard is a good option? But if you guys have other names, let me know. I know Fekir is a good option from Saif. Ancelotti is leaving Everton. How about signing James Rodriguez? Ooh, yes, all about it. Larton Roy, November results of season 2021. Would you still bring the German manager? No. At this point, no. I would. I think Pioli not overachieved. Basically, he's saying, Light and Roy, knowing the result of the season 2021, so in foresight, would you still bring the German manager to Milan if you go back to the beginning of the season? No, I think Pioli did a super job at this point so far.
No, we're good. We're good. Another thing about De Paul, because we're talking a lot. If we can get rid of Conti and Caldara and pay 30 million for De Paul, I'm happy with that as well, to be fair. Because at the end of the thing, you bring out two non-functional players and you put in a player that actually anyway is functional for AC Milan. Maybe it's not an upgrade, but he can play for AC Milan. He can be a midfielder or a number 10, in some occasion. If you get rid of Caldara and Conti, for example. So if Udinese is willing to take a player that we don't need, that's another ball game.
Yeah, and Milan is going to have a few of these players that they're going to use as exchange players. Conti, Laxalt, Hague, Gabbia, and someone else. Maybe Calhanoglu, maybe, I don't know. But they do have some players that they can use as exchange players. Whether that's going to make Milan fans happy or not, I don't know. But they are definitely there.
Yeah, I don't get the whole talk about us sacrificing Hauge like he doesn't have potential or he's like an average player. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even trade him for De Paul. If we want to get De Paul, I wouldn't give away Hauge. Because, like why? Why don't we give the guy more time, play him more in Europe? He's done well in Europe outside of Italy when he played. It's worth taking a shot with him.
Yeah, well, as I'm sure many of you have seen, Hague has come out and he said that he wants to fight for a spot in Milan. But if Milan choose to do otherwise, he's going to make his decisions after, I guess, after the Euros, I think. But Hague said that he wants to stay at Milan and he wants to fight for a place in Milan. And I agree with you guys. Hague showed potential. He scored clutch goals. He on that wing, he showed to be very promising, very big plays too, dribbles and goals, looking for that second post. No, we're not talking about a player that came and didn't do anything. He's a player that came and did a lot. But if they're going to use him as an exchange player, I mean, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Carlos says he would rather have Papu or Ilicic over De Paul, so more creative players. German managers are way forward when we finally move on from Pioli. German managers have won the Champions League 3 times in a row. That is true. That is very true. We have the Interista came back to say hello. Why are 40 listening to talk about a club that has no future, man? Listen to this guy. Going at Sanchez of Lille and Correa of Lazio. Milan going back to Europa League after next season. Ishmael, why are you talking? Ishmael, if I was you, I'd be so angry right now. Inter is crumbling to bits. Okay? Inzaghi is not Conte, Ishmael. It's not going to happen. Don't think that now that Conte is gone and Inzaghi is there, it's going to be the same. You guys are losing one of your best players, Hakimi. You've lost a top coach for a mediocre coach. Your season is looking to be pretty disastrous. So I'd be worried if I were you, Ishmael Thakur.
And they have this idea that Lukaku is going to end up being a legend at Inter. They actually believe this bullshit. They don't know if a team like Man City or Paris Saint-Germain came in and paid 60 or 70 million. They don't know that Inter will cut their arms off for that. So the Inter are one season wonder, first trophy in 10 years. A team that has basically, deservedly won the league, but Milan had many injuries. Juventus are way off form. Napoli missed out on the top 4. So seriously, calm down. Even when you go out to the Champions League, you go out with a group stage. Seriously, settle down, man.
Yes, Ishmael, listen, I'm saying this also. I respect you, Ishmael. I'm not here bantering you or whatever. I'm glad you come to visit us and banter with us. But I'm telling you, Milan is on its way to an upgrade. That's what it looks like. That's what we hope. That's what the roads lead to indicate. But Inter is on the opposite. Inter is looking to downgrade. So don't be so confident, Ishmael.
And just a question to Ismail: if Inter had a future, why Conte left? Because Conte left for a reason. If Inter had a future, Conte should stay. No.
Right.
So clearly, you guys don't have a future. You're done for the next 5 years. You're done. Slowly, you're gonna sell your players.
Yeah, the team is not doing well at all, and the assets are they can't access their assets because of the rules in China and the Chinese government. They're not allowing any money flowing. You guys are in big trouble, man. I wouldn't be so happy if I were you.
Exactly, and like they don't have any future. In terms of past, everyone agrees that AC Milan is the team of Milano. We have many more Champions League than them. Even their history, their Internazionale, Inter Milan, they came out of our club because some players were not happy playing. And bro, you're our little brother in the city. Seriously.
Oh, that's funny. But look, I'll give this to Ishmael because I don't want to like be too mean with him. But Ishmael, look, Inter deserved to win the Scudetto. And honestly, I'm going to say this. I know some Milan fans are going to be saying, Roy, what the fuck are you talking about? But honestly, I would have preferred Inter to upgrade rather than to downgrade, because at the end of the day, I think the more competitive the Serie A is, the more competitive Milan is going to be. So, and also it's good for the Serie A in Europe. And Italian football is so shit right now. It's not even funny. Italian football is a disgrace right now. It's an absolute disgrace. So for me, seeing Inter crumbling to bits and pieces, it's fun and all, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really benefit anybody. Most players value are overpriced in today's modern football due to an inflated transfer market. Leao is not worth 30 or 35 million either. Man, we paid 30 million for Leao, huh?
Listen, I wanna say something about this. I'm pretty sure 90% of the people that thinks De Paul is a great player have seen highlights of De Paul. If you see the highlights of Leao, you think Leao is a fucking 40 million player, man. If you see the goal against Sassuolo, the goal against Benevento, all the dribblings against Inter, if I put you a clip of 3 minutes about Leao, dude, believe me, you're going to think like, oh, 40 million is a steal. And I can sell Leao in Premier League for 40 million. That's
he's like a Portuguese Mbappe if you see his highlights.
Exactly. You can put a clip of him running straight on the defender and leaving the defender 1 meter behind. And you think, oh shit, this guy has a pace. This guy has a future. That's the thing. So stop saying Leao is not worth 20 million. Leao is 20 years old, plays for AC Milan, the biggest Italian club, and he's going to play in Champions League next season. He contributed to bring us in the second place. So the guy, his value is 30 million and plus.
Wow. Damn.
That's it. People need to realize that. I know we hate Leao because we want him to play like George Weah on his prime. I know that. But you have to look at the numbers. Leao has the same numbers of De Paul in terms of goals in the season. And he's the second season in Serie A, the second full season. He's been living in a pandemic like everyone else. I'm not saying anything. He didn't have a preseason. And he has a lot of pressure on him to perform and get the result. I'm the first one to criticize him, but people need to give a bit more to realize that there is a lot on the guy. He needs just to get, the right love and the right. And Roy said sometimes he plays as a striker, which is not his position, at least at the moment. He should play more on the left, and he performs better.
Yeah.
And you remember against Manchester United, he got the corner kick trying to dribble. He got a corner kick against Udinese. He got a corner kick. And he crossed the ball and we got the penalty. So Leao has been really important this season. A lot of moments, and it's not easy for a 21 years old.
Yeah, no, I definitely think we need to keep Leao and keep nurturing Leao because I see, like, if you look at him when he dribbles players in the short, his explosiveness is truly awesome. It's truly amazing. He's always going to get you. When he wants to dribble you on that side and put a cross in the shot. And he also can do the short dribble. He's 20, like Larry is. He's part of the under-21 national team. let's get him to develop. Let's develop this player. He could be potentially a very, very good player for the future.
But where does he play in Portugal? In which position, may I ask? Winger or striker?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Because if he plays as a striker, there's no excuse not to play as a striker for Milan, to be honest. If he plays as a striker.
But I mean, if he's playing in the under 21, look, this is my theory. This is a theory, okay? That when he's in training, okay, when he does the trainings with Pioli, etc., and the team, and they put him as a center forward, he's amazing. He's great. Probably because he has no pressure, because everybody's helping him out, and also because in training, you know, the fighting spirit is not as strong as the fighting spirit you get in a match. Maybe he's suffering that. He's suffering the big stages right now in that position where he feels a little bit unnatural because he plays back to goal, so his movements are different. I don't know. In under 21, you know, the players are all similar as far as talent, as far as personality, as far as charisma. It's all youngsters. So maybe as a striker in the under 21, he can do well. But in the big stages, as a striker, he did poorly. But I think that, you know, in time, he will also be a great striker, I hope. Let's say I hope. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true, but that's my theory. The Milan fan HD says, Depay is an option. He's free, but his wages are a problem. I think Pioli will love him. He hustles on offense and defense for all 90 minutes and can dribble past people and pass the ball well. Yes, if Depay is that kind of player that that can be like a Calhanoglu, then that's a huge improvement. If he can defend and hustle the way Pioli wants, then that is like, forget De Paul, forget Calhanoglu. Now we're talking about some serious talent, some serious magic.
And he's a leader as well. He's the captain of Lyon. He has the leader personality, which will help many young players in our team.
Yeah, and is he the captain of Holland too?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
Last game, I saw Gini Wijnaldum being the captain of Holland.
Okay, got you. Yeah, Depay would be amazing. Let's see. We have a lot of comments here, man. We have a lot of comments. Let's find a few comments here. Roy, what do you think about bringing Ramos instead of Romagnoli? Now, the thing about Ramos, I think that he's too injury prone at this point. Last season, he didn't play. He played less than 10 games or something like that. I don't know if that would be a good option. It might be another Mandzukic. What do you guys think?
Too expensive the salary probably as well.
Yeah, he's like 35 now, 36. No, I think he's 35. He's way too injury prone. He demands a very big salary. And I think a center back should be the least of our worries now, especially when we got Tomori. We already have Kjaer and guys like Gabia in the bench, you know. Maybe he's not ready yet, but bringing in Ramos will completely kill players like Gabia and Kalulu, their confidence, and they may even leave. It's not even realistic, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if it's realistic. I don't know if it's really. No, I'm against the Ramos thing. But hey, guys, again, like maybe Ramos comes in and then he's a monster. Okay, so I'm not leaving that as a.
No, you're right, Roy. I agree with you. And any player at this, I don't want at AC Milan. If he comes, I'm gonna love him anyway, and I wish him the best because I wish the best to AC Milan, as I say. But Sergio Ramos looks quite expensive in my opinion. He wants probably at least 7 million a year, and is getting a bit too much. 7 million a year for a guy that you never know how much he's gonna play.
Yeah, right. So we have a little bit to talk about Leao here. Let's see. Let's go from last. Roback will play in the first team next season. Yeah. Roback. Do you know this player, Roback? I don't know this player.
He's the Primavera one, the striker.
Eastbourne thinks that Depay problem is his attitude. Oh, guys, by the way, speaking of Milan and teams associated with Milan. So the female team was in the Coppa Italia against Roma, and they lost on penalties, right? Did you guys see that game or the highlights or whatever?
No.
No.
It looks like they're doing pretty well for even the female team. Is doing pretty well. So good. I'm happy about that. Let's see. Guys, I've heard we're linked to Jardy shouting on Bologna. He plays in the pivot. Cassie and Benacer will. Okay, so what I heard about Jardy shouting is that this is just a rumor the agent put out to amplify the profile of that player. As far as the official reports, is that Milan is not interested in this player. That is what I've heard so far. They made the Champions League. Yeah, that is true. I saw the game. The girls were not well trained in PKs, and also those goals are pretty big. You need to be a big goalkeeper. All right, guys, we have 30 minutes more. Let's invite another guest, whoever wants to come in, and we'll go from there. Saif, any what are your hopes for the transfer market? Who would you like to see in Milan? Who is your dream signing, and what do you think is going to be possible? And do you agree with what we know so far are Pioli's objectives and his according to what he wants, according to the functionality of the team?
I mean, like dream signings or signings that could possibly well happen.
Yeah, let's start with that.
First of all, let's talk about loanees. Brahim Diaz, I would definitely buy him for not just for his footballing ability, but also his chemistry with the other players and the energy that he brings to the team. He's a really good player. He's really humble. He works hard and he makes a difference in the end. We already got Tomori. I would definitely buy Tonali. I don't know what the nonsense is that he's not ready. He's not good enough. He's 20 years old. He came from Brescia. Even in Brescia, I think he didn't play in a midfield too. So he's not really used to playing with someone next to him in the midfield as a pivot. We need to give him more time. I would even pay 25, 30. Doesn't matter. Tonali is a golden kid in Italy, and believe me, he's gonna be a top player in the future. As for the cam, like I said, I have a theory in terms of cams and wingers. I think Milan should really look more into the German league, the Bundesliga, because the way their coaches work, they're very versatile. They change a lot of formations. For example, look at a team like Leipzig. You can get a guy who's a potential to be a world-class cam for like 20, 30 million. He can also play as a second striker. He can also play on the wing. He can track back. So this whole notion about only players from the Serie A, it's not going to do us well in the Champions League when we face the best teams in the world. You know what I mean? So I don't think De Paul's a good player. I'm going to happy if he comes. I'm going to root for him. He's not a game changer. He's not a game changer. So for the cam, like I said someone like Marcel Sabitzer, for example. Jonathan Ikone for the right mid. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to mute. Talk, Laird.
Another player that I would like as a attacking midfielder is I think, let's say, if you really want to spend 40 million and you go to Lotito, you can get the attacking midfielder of Lazio. I don't know what is his name. Sorry.
Well, there are a bunch of them. Which one? The more defensive one or the more creative one?
The creative one.
Luis Alberto?
No, the
Correa?
No, what is the name? Oh my
Milinkovic
God.
Savic?
Yeah, Milinkovic Savic. With 40 million, you can get him if you want to spend 40 million. It's such a delicate position. I think it's really hard, man. It's really hard. It's really hard to understand what is the market now, how desperate are clubs to sell, how desperate are to buy. I think we need to wait. It's gonna be a long market. We're gonna make the deal at the end. I don't think we're gonna go quick with the deal, and it's gonna take long. It's gonna take long.
Okay. Okay, so what do you think of Holzek from Sparta Prague, 18 years old, 20 meters? What does that mean? 20 M?
20 million.
Oh, 20 million. 188 centimeters, technical, intelligent, fast, physical. I don't know this player, guys. I have no clue who this player is, so I can't comment on this player. Hey, Lucas here. Lucas loves De Paul. Lucas is very enamored with De Paul.
Well, let's keep it here. Maybe Lucas is having something with De Paul. Because he really likes him a lot. So I don't know, man.
That is funny shit, man. Remember this name, Ulcer. He will be a really good player. Okay, guys, good. Inter shit. Damn.
I like that.
We should go for Gio Reyna from Dortmund. He's really good, and we can't get him on loan. Yeah, I like Gio Reyna. From what I've seen, he looks like a very promising player.
Come on, 30 million. That's his minimum. Dortmund's gonna minimum sell him for like 60, 55 million in the future. No way he's only 30 million. That's not realistic.
That's a steal, yeah. They go and get it tomorrow if it's 30 million. Maldini is like straight away. It's really hard.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Tommaso Pobega? Would you keep him in the squad? Benacer and Cassier going to be out for 1 month in January.
Is the African Cup happening? Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Does anyone know if it's gonna happen with the COVID and everything?
I think so, because this is something that I've seen even journalists pose this question. So I would hope journalists know. So now, as far as what I've heard about Tommaso Pobega is that Milan don't think he's a player he's suitable for the pivot role. He's a player suitable for a midfielder 3. So it doesn't look like he's coming back. At least I don't know. That's what I know so far. I could be wrong. I can't. Guys, I want to just a disclosure, or what's a disclaimer. Anything we say here, whether we are sure or confident about it, could all be bullshit. Okay, could all be bullshit. We're just going by what our best sources we think are. Transfer market, this is just the way it is. It's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors.
It's all opinion, really. No more.
Everything is always up. So Milan Primavera, many talents. It depends on the coach and staff. I hope they freaking develop these talents. Why is Milan slacking on this department? All these names, I don't know them, but I'm pretty sure they're very good. Ciao, hello guys. Milan is passione, forza Milan, forza ragazzi. Luciano, forza Milan, dai. Lucas De Paul doesn't love you. Or another story. If Inter breaks, the league will be much Juve again. This is my fear. I want Inter and Milan shocking Juve every season. Laird, name me a player you want instead of De Paul.
I can name you a lot of them. I want Insigne instead of De Paul. I want just to stay, Berardi. I like Berardi. I prefer to invest that money on the right and play Brahim Diaz in the middle, or play somebody else we already have. I would like
Brahim Diaz, Sabitzer, Odegaard. There are many names in the world. Seriously.
I don't know, man. 40 million is a lot of money, to be fair. You can get a lot of players, a lot of different options. You have options with 40 million. That's my thing. And my doubt is there is so much hype with this De Paul thing, man. That's my problem. I feel like we are buying the next Ronaldinho, the way people are talking about. I feel like if we buy De Paul, we're gonna win the league for sure. That's the way people are talking. I wish it was like this.
Yeah. Carlo Moretti says, Lucas Ilicic, would you rather get Ilicic than De Paul, Laird?
Well, considering that he comes for 5 million, probably can be more effective than De Paul.
Yeah.
And you can invest that 20 million, 25 million somewhere else, another position. Or even Papu Gomez, 10 million. You can get a Papu Gomez for 10 million or 5, whatever they want to do. There's a lot of option, man.
Lucas says, Roy, did you watch the under-21 match yesterday? My Portugal humbled you guys. Okay, I spoke in depth about this game earlier, so I'm going to, when this stream is done, I am going to put the timestamps, etc. But I'm going to just give you a quick summary of what I said earlier, Lucas. I think Italy was a disgrace. I think that the FIGC is a disgrace the way it's being organized. I think Italy has zero talent coming out. I think the future of Italy looks like shit. It's terrible. It's a complete, utter nonsense bullshit. I think Cutrone, what he did was absolutely disgraceful. I think the way Cutrone behaved there, Cutrone is nobody. He's nobody. Not only he humiliated himself, but he humiliated a whole country. So Italy under 21 was absolute failure. That's my quick summary.
I want to ask Lucas, who is the number 10 of the Portugal under 21? Who plays in that position? Because I would rather get him than De Paul.
Hamid Traoré. What about Hamid Traoré from Sassuolo?
He's a good player, but I don't think he's that much more, you know? I saw him against us. He was nothing special. He was very wasteful. Even though he's young, he was very wasteful in the final third. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We need game changers. Let's stop talking about Amad Traoré. Let's stop talking about Pessina. Even De Paul to an extent. We're in the fucking Champions League. Seriously. I'm not saying let's go and pay like 50 or 60 million for a player, but seriously, something more exciting.
Saif, you got to get it up with Pioli then.
Exactly.
Gotta get it's his whatever. Alcer has 10 goals, 1 assist, 18 games. Okay. We'll see if this Alcer will be a big player. It's confirmed it will take place in January in Cameroon. All right. Fuck De Paul. Just give Il Turco the extra 1 million. Calhanoglu. And I know both Saif and Laert, you guys have been very critical of Calhanoglu. Like, you do not want this player at Milan, right?
I don't want Calhanoglu because, as Saif is saying, I want a real upgrade. I want a top-class player in that position.
Yeah.
That's simple as that.
Hey, guys. Hope to welcome you at the Milan Fan Club 2022 Forza Milan. Nice. Roy, how can you allow Laert to say once Insigne and Berardi, 2 wingers to replace a number 10? Well, Insigne is a top player. Berardi is a top player. I mean, if you get Insigne and Berardi, you can keep Calhanoglu.
Insigne used to play as a cam when he was much younger in Napoli before.
Yeah, but Insigne is not going to do what Pioli wants.
Yeah,
why not? He's a professional player, man.
Yeah, but Pioli wants someone that is going to win balls in that midfield. He wants someone that.
We have Kessie for that, man. He's like 2 players in the middle.
Yeah, but still, I mean, again, this is what Pioli wants, guys. He wants a player that is going to defend that way. Insigne is good at closing the spaces, closing the channels, and all that stuff. Yeah.
What about Philippe Coutinho with the option of buying at the end of the loan?
Oh, option buying. I would do all option for buying for all of these players, by the way. Yeah, I'd be up for that. For sure.
But Coutinho just came back from massive injury in Barcelona, and he's also entering 29. He's kind of like an Isco, but to a lesser degree in terms of excitement. There are better options than him.
Mika Kimbia says, guys, what about Onos for right wing? He was on loan at Crotone from Napoli and can do decent. I say yes, 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 yes. Honest is crazy good. Crazy good. This guy works his ass off too. Like he does what Salamakers does, but he so much quality. So much quality. This guy, you put him on the pitch at least when he played against us, he was on the pitch for 70 minutes. This guy never stopped. Dribbling, passing, hustling, quality and quantity. Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
Napoli,
and Wannas also won the African Cup of Nations with Algeria. He came on the substitute many games, but he played very well. He's a very good player.
Honest would be an excellent purchase. Of course, Napoli, they have Lozano on that position. They have Napolitano. So there's not much space for Honest, really. So maybe Milan can take advantage of that. We need players who have experience in Champions League or won trophies with the average around 22 to 25, Eastboard says. Ilicic and Gomez are both older than De Paul.
Yeah, they are cheaper, 30 million cheaper.
Yeah. Let's keep on going. De Paul is a brand icon player, but not extraordinary football. He's good, but not one of the best. Well, the thing about De Paul is he's not a flashy player, you know. Like if De Paul comes to Milan, I think a lot of people are expecting to have double scissors, 1-2s, crazy roulettes, pallonetti, lob, head kicks. No, like De Paul is a player that looks more like your traditional midfielder with good technical abilities. He's a hustler, and he's good at shielding the ball. He can get himself out of tight situations with nice movements. But he's not the kind of player that is going to create a moment of magic like Rui Costa used to, right, from that position.
De Paul reminds me a lot of Boateng as a type of player. I don't know if he's going to be the prime Boateng we had, the time Ibra was playing, in 2010. I don't know if he's going to be that player, but it reminds me a lot the style of Boateng. A tough player, technical ability, but not a lot of creativity. Good on dribbling.
Yeah, I would say Boateng more goals, though. More goals.
A lot of goals, and with AC Milan, a lot of personality, fighting.
But actually, for the profile that Pioli wants, Boateng in his prime is exactly what Pioli. At least this is what we think, but what Pioli wants.
Yeah, that's something.
Something like that. That would be nice. A Boateng.
And we need to understand how Pioli wants to play next season. Maybe he's going to change slightly a bit, the game. So it's not like, sure, he's going to play the same way.
Right. And look, we have 3 months to go, Like, for example, if, let's say, Dybala comes to Milan, you have to change the way you play. Because Dybala, I think you have to put 3 players in the middle, attacking midfielder Dybala and then 2 strikers, or Dybala or a 4-4-2. But in a 4-2-3-1, Dybala in that attacking midfield, I mean, he could. I would like to see that, but again, he's not going to do what Il Mister wants. Okay. Well, look. Lucas is going to bother you the whole summer about De Paul, and so it is the way it is. Lariat, game changers in the modern game are all above 100 million. We're building a team on a reasonable budget to avoid the financial issue.
So stay here. Don't move from this thing. 100 million when? In the peak before the pandemic, when all the Arabs and all the Russians and all the Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid was buying 100 million a top player. Hazard was bought from 100 million. Like, he was at his peak. He was the best player at that time. Now, clubs are like Inter. They don't have money, man. All bullshit about Hakimi, 80 million and stuff like that. No one is going to pay 80 million for a right fullback. They need to forget that thing. So 100 million, it's not anymore 100 million. You can buy a great player for 50 million now. If you go to a club that the player is not happy and wants to move, 40 million, De Paul 2 years ago, maybe with the what he's doing, because we paid other player even more than that. How much we paid for the Calhanoglu? I think we paid 30 million for Calhanoglu, something like that. We pay a lot for other awful players. I mean, we sold sorry. Who's the guy who was playing on the right to Lisbon?
Sousa.
Sousa, sorry. No, Sousa. Sevilla. So we sold Sousa for 25 million. Of course, De Paul is 40 million. But now the market is changed. Now we are in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of countries that are not going to open the stadiums or full capacity for another 6 months, half season. So you're telling me Udinese is going to get 40 million with no struggle? No way, man. You can get a game changer for 40, 50 million. Not De Paul. That's it. Go and spend, you know what? Go and buy Lautaro Martinez for 60 million. Don't buy De Paul for 40. That's my opinion. If you go that price, buy a world-class player. Don't buy someone that is a bet. You never know how he's going to perform with AC Milan.
There you have it. Also, Laird, what I also heard today, actually, I heard that if De Paul is coming, that means that Berardi is not coming. And if Berardi is coming, that means that De Paul is not coming. It's one or the other.
I prefer Berardi.
Yeah. So the financial situations aren't as great, you know. But okay, let's keep on going. Buendia and Cantor of Norwich are good upgrades. Norwich. I mean, who watches Norwich? I have no idea who these players are.
They're quality, but they're young. They're not ready yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hey, guys, remember, just jump in if you have anything to say. Isco is done. He's not the same anymore. I would love to have Isco. I think I don't think that is true. I think Isco is still a top player. Pioli needs man.
What is it?
No, just
why are you changing it?
It's this. Pioli needs Manscaped to win balls. Vlasic, Mahrez, Ziyech, Depay, Icardi. These players can be game changers, just to name a few. Now, what I do know that if Giroud is coming, Icardi is definitely out of the picture. It looks like it's going to be Giroud and another striker, a young striker. And Giroud could be actually already this week, maybe. Maybe by the end of this week, we might have something definitive regarding Giroud. Finally, someone that understands. Micah understands. Let's read some of you guys' comments. Let's go from down to up. Berardi all day long, no question. Yes, I think Berardi is definitely the best option that we can get to improve. Arar is up for sale from Lyon after failing the UCL qualification in French league to make up for the losses. Lyon is asking 20 to 27 million. I think it can be a great upgrade. Do you guys know this player?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good player, yeah.
If anyone is perfect for that cam role, it's Awar. His dribbling, no one can get the ball off of him.
Gotcha. What is he French?
I think so.
Okay. I prefer whatever gets Hakan as far away from Milan as possible. It looks like Hakan is not going to renew. Which means that Milan is going to go straight for De Paul. Yes, I take Berardi over De Paul any day. Who said the market change pressure will still be going for 100 million this summer? I mean, there are going to be players that are definitely going to be that price, like the top players. But these are players that we have nothing to do with. Like, these are not players this is not our market. The 100 million is the market of very few clubs. Bayern doesn't even do that, to be honest with you. Barcelona. But all these clubs have lost so much money. By the way, speaking of these big clubs, the Super League, Juventus, Real Madrid, and Barcelona have not given up on the Super League. And today there are reports that these teams could be excluded from the UEFA Champions League. So this question about the Super League is not done yet. And I have a question for all of you guys, especially the people that have been against the Super League. What if this transfer market, worst case scenario, we lose Kessie, we lose Theo Hernandez? Will your thoughts about the Super League change? That is my question.
Well, I'm gonna go and do the Super League with the team that stole Benacer and Kessie from me. So what's the point?
Theo Hernandez and Kessie.
Oh, Theo Hernandez, whatever. Kessie and Theo. I'm going to do the Super League with PSG, and they stole my players. I'm going to do business with them. Man, I'm not.
No. But I'm just saying, if Milan is in a situation where they don't have the power to keep their players, would the idea of the Super League be like, okay, at this point we should do it, we should fight for it, or no, or you still be like, no, I don't think so.
Still no, because I don't believe in that type of football. Simple as that.
Gotcha. Got it. What about you, Saif?
If we're talking about the Milan management, them being American owners, really close to the American type of football and shit, I think they would do it. Us fans, we wouldn't do it, but they would do it. And it's not like they would care about what us fans think anyway, because that's the reality of football clubs nowadays. But yeah, my point of view about the Super League has never changed. Even if we sell all our best players, I will still have the same mindset that we don't deserve it over teams like Atalanta, for example. Just because we have a big history, we've been shit for 10 years. And they are just, only 2 seasons ago, they were in the few minutes away from the Champions League semi-final. What gives us the right to say, okay, we're going to kill you, we're going to buy all the superstars now? So no, it's not even going to happen, the Super League. Even if the teams stay in it, they just want to get more money from the teams that are not as a fine, and it's not going to happen.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay, I was just curious to know what you guys thought about that. Let's keep on going here. We have some very interesting comments coming in. So let's go from, where is it? I saw this. I take Giroud. Okay, so Carlo Moretti says UEFA don't have the balls to put the ban on those 3 teams. I agree with that. I don't think they would. I think it's just talk. But the Spanish and Italian courts ruled in favor of the Super League. There's no violation of the UEFA rules. Yeah, I think the project is still alive. It's still there somewhere, lurking in the background. Who knows what will happen? We'll see. The Milan fan says, no, it wouldn't change no matter if we sell our whole team. I do not care. Football is bigger than just our club. Wow. Nice. Kessie is not going anywhere. Theo should not be sold below 70 million. I don't know, Laird. I guess I haven't spoken to you about this. The first report of the day was that Theo Hernandez has agreed a contract with PSG, but Theo Hernandez is not going to push for a sale. But PSG is definitely on Theo Hernandez, and so now it's really up to Milan whether Milan is going to sell him or not. Theo said that he's no intention of leaving, but according to these reports, the agreement has already been reached. That's why.
How Theo Hernandez has an agreement, but he doesn't want to leave. What is that thing?
No, basically, he's saying that they did come with an agreement as a contract, but he is happy with Milan. If Milan decide to sell him, he'll go. But if Milan don't want to sell him, he's going to stay, and he's not going to fight against it. Those are the last reports that are coming out.
These people that write these reports, man, seriously.
You think that one is not true?
Oh my God, that's so bad, man. That's really bad.
Yeah. Well, one thing is for sure, Leonardo is on him for sure. I don't know the extent of the contract, but I mean, think about it. If you're a sporting director and you're Leonardo, of course, Leonardo is going to go for our players. I started the show today by saying Leonardo is a problem, and he is a problem. Let's see. Okay. This is a good comment here I read earlier. These guys are forgetting that Maldini said that we need 2 to 3 years in the Champions League before we start competing for the Champions League. And the Hernandez rumors are shit. I agree with Laird. Oh, Lucas agrees with Laird. Guys, the world is going to be okay after all.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional now.
Do you think it's going to take 2 to 3 years for Milan to achieve to start competing for the Champions League? That's a little bit too much, huh?
I mean, it all depends on the context of competing. Obviously, we're not going to win the Champions League in 2 or 3 years, but the objective is not to get embarrassed in it, not just to qualify it, just like Lazio, just for the sake of it, you know. Even if we go out with dignity, we reach the quarterfinal, not just group stage, then we go to the Europa League, or group stage, then we finish fourth, last of the group. So it also all depends on the management and how Pioli plays the tactics and the type of players we get.
There's a lot of things, man. For example, Leicester won the Premier League buying that summer. They bought Kante and Mahrez, like for 10 million each, something like that. And it happened that these two players are top players. We realized after years that those are top players. So AC Milan can go tomorrow and buy two players in Ligue 1 that it happen to be a top players talent, and you can actually compete for the Champions League the next year. So everything can happen. Or De Paul is so good, even better than what we thought, than everyone else thought, and we actually competing for the Champions League and trying to win it in the semi-final, quarter-final, whatever is that. So anything can happen. But what Maldini was trying to say is that to be a power in Europe, that actually you're there and everyone is expecting for you to win it, you need to stay at least 3 years in a row in that competition. Because when the next Champions League is going to start, there is 5-6 clubs that everyone thinks they're going to win it now. And that is not AC Milan for sure. You need to stay 3 years in the competition to be on that 6 teams, to win it.
Yeah, if we look at the parallels of the Ancelotti Milan, etc., and the build-up to that Ancelotti Milan, we can say it started in 2000, but not with Ancelotti, but that project started in 2000, and in 2003 they won the Champions League. Now, I saw this comment here. I'm going to go to all your comments, guys, but I did see this comment here, and I want to go to it right away. After watching the UCL final, I'm so certain Milan need 3 to 4 years and some massive funds to reach those teams. I mean, I don't agree with that at all, Mr. Totti Brotta. Yo, Chelsea, Manchester, these are not like aliens from a different country, from a different planet. Sorry, these are not superhuman beings. This is just soccer players. That's all humans playing soccer. The difference is not as big as you think. That's why we shouldn't be scared of Man City, or Chelsea, of Madrid, or Barcelona. We can beat these teams. On the day, we can beat any of these teams. Don't need to fear anybody. Chelsea's 3-4 years in front of us. No way. No way. You get this Milan next season, nice and oiled up, with everybody 1 year older. You think Calabria, Chiar, Tomori, Hernandez, Kessi, and Benacer are going to be scared to play against Chelsea? No way, guys. Not a chance in a million that's going to happen. These guys are going to play against those teams to beat those teams. They're not going to play against those teams to be scared like Lazio. Oh my God, we're playing against Bayern Munich. What are we going to do? This is not the way we think. This is not the way Milan thinks. Of course, they are more advanced, but 3 or 4 years, Totti, that's an exaggeration.
And anyway, Guardiola is going to play without any defensive midfielder, so we're going to beat him anyway in the final. I mean, what the fuck, man? What was that? When I saw the formation, I'm like, is this a joke? Is anyone going to play FIFA, basically? He put all the fastest players so he can have pace in the game and win the game. That was crazy, man. No defensive midfielder at all.
And
he always does this in the Champions League. He tries to outsmart every coach in the world, like he did in Lyon, where he played with 3 at the back. That kind of fucked him, to be honest.
It's crazy, man.
And he played De Bruyne as the striker, huh?
He's been doing that all season, but he's been doing it with a 2 or at least 1 defensive midfielder.
Wow.
And another thing, the first striker he put in is not Aguero, but is Gabriel Jesus. I mean, Aguero has done 260 goals for that club. And what is your first change for a striker? Gabriel Jesus. Fuck you, seriously. If Pioli does a mistake like this, he flies in another planet, man. If Guardiola does something like that, people think, oh, that makes sense. That doesn't make sense, man. That's just craziness. That's just madness. That's it. Playing without a defensive midfielder, and Kante can do whatever he wants in the middle. He's like, what is this, guys? I can do whatever I want here. There is space. This just crazy, man. But he's Guardiola, so he's done a lot of things good. But I don't know why he does these mistakes sometimes.
Did you see he was acclimated because he kissed the medal?
Yeah.
I think the Pope even said something about him because usually when you go and freaking get the second place players usually take it off and strip it away. But instead, Guardiola kissed his second medal, so he's getting a lot of compliments for that little show he did there. Roy, how deep are we going in the Champions League? I'm calling it today semifinals.
Wow. I'm calling it when I know the group.
No, come on. Give
I'm
me.
not calling it today, man.
No
today
comment.
it's like not even flipping a coin. It's like flipping 5 coins and getting it all of them.
What about you, Saif? What do you think? Semi-final for me.
Semi-final is a stretch. I think round of 16 is a more realistic. Yeah, it also depends on the group. If you get Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Ajax in the same group, it's gonna be difficult. I think round of 16 is a realistic target for Milan this season.
Yeah, I think if we don't get out of a group, man, that would feel like a failure to me. I'll be honest with you guys. That would feel like a failure to me. De Paul winning the Champions League, Copa America, World Cup, and Ballon d'Or with Milan in 2030. David and Roman, we have a tough group this season. Well, how do you know we have a tough group? It could be an easy group too. We don't know yet.
You can be Villarreal as a.
Yeah, we can get easy group. I hope we won't grow into being a team like Ajax or Dortmund, basically a team that just grows players for other teams. What do you guys think about that comment?
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Our supporters are not patient. They don't accept something like that. It's no, and Italy is always known as a country. They always had these 3 big teams. You know, Germany is always known for having 1 big team, and Borussia Dortmund as a, you know, staying around but never being big, and Real Madrid the same, 3 team, 2.5, I would say. The Premier League, I think 4 teams can really win the Champions League. The other ones are just. They look big, they look strong, but they are not dangerous. I don't think we're gonna be like Borussia Dortmund or.
Where do you put Manchester United in that top 4?
Yeah, I think I put Manchester United, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool.
Manchester United, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Yeah.
The other one are just around, looking good but not really good.
That was actually a great comment because I want to relate our situation to Arsenal. Because in early 2010 they also had Gazidis, and until now they have an American ownership, and their fans are known for England. They're not the most patient type. What they did in 2010s, they had a great project as well. They had many top players, and they never invested in the team. They said they sold their best players until they fell back to mediocrity, and I think that would be a concern for us if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Now the Arsenal supporter, they kicked out Wenger, man. We're never gonna do something like that to Ancelotti. We never did something like that to Ancelotti.
They also kicked out Gazidis, and Gazidis came to us.
Well, this is a no one. That's a mistake you can make. But they were saying Wenger was going top 4 in the league every time, and they were saying, "Oh, Wenger is finished. He's done. We need to kick him out." Man, just respect the man. He's gonna leave when he's gonna leave.
Yeah, it was never Wenger's fault. It was always the problem of the management not being able to invest in the market.
Yeah,
there wasn't no investment. He was putting the club always in the top 4 in Champions League. Just respect the man. See that you don't have Henry, Bergkamp, and all these big players anymore. You just have talented players, but not good enough. Respect the manager. He's doing a great job. That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Lard. I think the fans would just destroy the. It's not the way Milan has operated. Milan has never been that kind of club. It's always if we become that kind of club, it's going to be chaos. It's going to become chaos.
Yeah.
Guys, we have a new guest. Guys, I can only go for another maximum 10 minutes, but we have a new guest, Jaga Benito. What's going on?
Hi, Roy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. I was eager to join the stream.
Nice. Tell us what do you have to say? Anything you want to say?
My simple thoughts is that if we want to succeed in Champions League, we need to buy offensive players from other countries. I think that Berardi and De Paul can do a great job in Serie A, but like Lille scouts many other teams, they steal their talents and they won the Ligue 1 over PSG.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that I don't necessarily agree with you there. Berardi, I think, would be fine. He'll be fine in Europe. Now, of course, Berardi is not part of a class of players that is considered to be elite or even the group below the elite, right? He's maybe in the 3rd category. Let's say there's 4 different categories. There's the normal player, there's the really good player, there is the champion, and then there's the elite. Right now, I would put Berardi in the category below champion, but I think he can move up to the category to champion. Can he move? I don't think he can move up to the category of elite. But of course, if you want to go into the Champions League, a safe bet, Jaga Benito, and you want to buy the best players and spend a lot of money, yeah, of course. So we can be like PSG, like Man City. We spend all the money, we get all the best players, and we go into the Champions League. But because that is not really where we are, we have to right now depend on what we have built, which I think is already great, is amazing. I think that the players that we have right now today are excellent. We add on the players that today in the transfer market are realistic, like a De Paul, like a Berardi, like a Giroud, etc. And that makes the core stronger. And with that core, I think we can go deep. Now, next season, then yes. We need to go for champions for sure. Right now, going for champions, unless you have a lot of money to spend, is very difficult. Or you never know what can happen at the end of a transfer market. We saw it with Galliani. The last day of a transfer market, there's always something magical that can happen. I remember one time, in one day, we had Robinho, Ibrahimovic, right? In one day, something like that. So these things are possible.
But the times have changed. I think that winning Champions League now is much more difficult than it was 10, 15 years ago. I think the competition between the big clubs, big spender clubs, and the rest of the clubs is huge.
I don't think it's huge. I think it is. I think there is a difference, but I don't think it's huge.
Who reached the semifinals? City, PSG, Chelsea, Real Madrid. The 4 clubs that spend the most money in today's market.
Yeah. Well, because Milan is not playing. Let Milan play for 2 years and let me know.
Right.
Even when Milan is going to have the money, it's not going to spend crazy money like PSG or Real Madrid or Manchester City or Chelsea. It's important to realize that a lot of players that were playing that final with Chelsea, there was for example, the guy on the right, he got bought for not a lot of money. He was from the academy. Thiago Silva was got for free. They signed him for free. And Rudiger, I don't think they pay him a lot. So Mendy, as a keeper, they paid him 30 million, if I'm not wrong. So the player they paid a lot, which is Timo Werner and
Havertz, Kante,
Kai Havertz and Ziyech, they didn't perform crazy in this Champions League. They performed, they helped the team for sure, but they weren't like exceeding. So the money, if you spend it right, you can win. I think Bayern Munich spent a lot of money, but the core team, it didn't cost a lot. Alphonso Davies didn't cost a lot.
I don't like to talk about Bayern because they get all the best players in Bundesliga for very cheap.
Yeah, they do that. They do that. But anyway, they can always do great deals outside Bundesliga. I think you need money. Not spend more than everyone else to win. You need money for sure.
And I wouldn't underestimate the players that we have. I think the players that we have maybe I think you're underestimating them a little bit. Like these players are special players, man. And these players aren't. Who are they supposed to be scared of? Nobody. Calabria said, "I can't wait to defend against Messi." You know, the guy's not scared of Messi.
Yes, I mean, but the problem is that we have a very good defense and not so great attack. I mean, I'm not very exciting to see Salamakers, Hakan, Rebic, and Giroud against the best teams in the world.
I wanna say something. If let's say you buy De Paul, and De Paul performs actually the way Pioli wants and all the club wants, Salamaker can score 5 goals more because De Paul is doing that service. He's bringing the ball to the right place and he's scoring. Leao can score more goals. The same Giroud can do more goals if the number 10 performs properly. So sometimes there is a player that brings something, or the same Berardi comes crossing the ball, giving assists, free kick, corners, and everything. You add more goals on the team, and it's surprisingly incredible how one player can change an entire team if he performs in the way the team wants. KC changed completely the AC Milan face with his performance. It gives a lot of stability to the defenders and a lot of stability in the midfield.
Yes, but I think the games against Manchester United we lacked in offensive department. I think that with 1 or 2 better attackers, we would have won the tie.
Yeah, and I am counting on Milan to do these changes and to buy these players to augment the impact of the offensive department. Now, I'm just going by trust, faith, whatever you want, but I don't see us being that inferior. No, we are financially inferior to those clubs you mentioned, but technically, tactically, I don't see us being inferior. Not if we are inferior to them by small margins. We aren't that far from these. Where we are inferior the most is in depth. Okay, that's where we are inferior. So we need to get our bench up and running, and obviously add some players to the starting lineup. But I don't see this huge gap that you're seeing, and that a lot of other people are seeing. To be fair, so yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see us being so far away from these
what I'm
teams.
trying to say is that Chelsea had a substitute in Pulisic for which they paid 60 million. And they could afford to put him on the bench. I mean, you can't afford to bench such expensive players.
No, and that is definitely a privilege that these teams have. They have a privilege to put these expensive players on the bench. Right now, we don't.
I want to say something. If you put Leao in that situation, probably he scores the goal.
I don't think so.
Mistake. You never know. You never know. You never know what Leao can be in 2 years. That's the thing. And Pulisic was like incredible 2 years ago. Now he's in the bench. So
Yeah.
they are human beings, like Roy said.
Yeah, guys, this thing that we kind of always look at these other players from other teams, and I hate this. Dude, in Italy, they do this so. It's one of the reasons why I hate so much Roma and these teams, because they look at these other teams and these other players and they think, oh my God, that guy is from this team. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? That guy is a god. That guy came from space, and he's. It's like, yo, chill out. These are just human. We're all human beings. We're all soccer players. The difference is the margin of difference between these professionals is literally minimal. It all comes down to the day, what happens on the day. Obviously, Manchester City, how much more have they spent against Chelsea? So according to that logic, Joga Benito, Manchester City should have won against Chelsea by 4 goals. But instead, who won the game? Chelsea won the game. It comes down to
Chelsea spent like 200 million last summer. I think they spent more than City.
But overall, City is a more expensive team, right? I mean, am I wrong about that?
City did not even need to invest because they have a complete squad. Chelsea do not have a complete squad.
Yeah, City has invested before. Chelsea invested this year. But overall, they invested the same amount of money. If you see on the last 10 years, Chelsea and City spent the same amount of money. And I think Chelsea won the Champions League twice. City won it 0 times. So I think money, you need money. I'm not saying that Atalanta is going to win Champions League. You need to invest at least, not say like they spend, but at least 50% what they spend. So if City is spending 200 million, AC Milan needs to spend at least 100 million to compete and win it.
I don't think we need to spend a lot of money for players, but I think that buying players only from Serie A, it's kind of limiting our ceiling of finding better players. Because I don't think you could have found a better player than Theo in Serie A with similar qualities.
But you can buy Chiesa in Serie A for 50 million, and you're sorted on the left side. With Theo and Chiesa on the left side.
With Chiesa, what have Juventus done this year?
Well, it's done, man.
Okay, Joga Benito, what has Barcelona done with Messi this year? Nothing. They won.
Griezmann.
They are rebuilding.
Don't even use that word, man. For Barcelona, rebuilding.
No, I think there are players in Italy that can definitely be game changers for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But I mean, I don't think Milan is just focusing on the Italian market. I don't think so. I mean, Tomori came from the English market, and that is the best purchase we've made all season. So I don't think Italy is just focusing on the Italian. Milan is focusing on the Italian market. But there are players in the Italian market that can make.
Kessi from the Italian market. Kessi.
Yeah, Kessi came from the Italian market. Benacer came from the Italian market. Theo came from the Spanish market. Chiara came from the German market. Calabria came from Milan. Tomori English market. Magnin from the French market. Milan is not just focusing on the Italian market.
Zaniolo, man. I wish we can buy Zaniolo. That's a game changer.
But listen, but one thing, Joga Benito, I do agree with you that these teams have something more. Yeah, like when it comes to the financial institution, etc. They've been in the Champions League now for a bunch of years more. But I don't see the gap being as big as maybe some people think it is.
The gap is between Pulisic in Chelsea and Samu in Milan. That's how big the gap is.
Right, but Samu right now, the idea of Samu is he's going to leave, and they want to bring in So you think if Milan bring in Berardi for Samu Castillejo, you don't think that's going to make a big difference in Europe?
Depends against what team we are playing. If it's against Bayern, Real Madrid, PSG, City, no.
Gotcha.
I want to ask you a question. Chelsea with Pulisic
Yes.
finished the season with less than 70 points and qualify for top 4, losing their last game, and thanks to Tottenham winning against Leicester. With Pulisic and all the investment you are thinking, all the money they throw away, they qualify with less than 70 points to the top 4 in English Premier League. AC Milan with Castillejo and with, I think, 20% of what Chelsea invested, qualify with 79 points in Serie A. How you explain that gap? That is called knowledge. The knowledge that Maldini, that Pioli, the staff, or whatever has to cover that gap. So you can cover that gap. Conte goes to Chelsea. Chelsea is 12th position. Conte goes to Chelsea, similar players, and wins the league. Investing less than the other clubs. Conte comes to Inter, invests 100 million and gets 82 points the first year. The second year is win the league. So the knowledge is more important than the money. You need a basic money. You need that 50 million, 60 million, 30 million talent for sure. But the knowledge makes the whole difference.
I think for teams like Chelsea and Liverpool, it's easier to win the Champions League than Premier League because City is, Pep's philosophy is working very, very good for the Premier League, for Bundesliga when he coached Bayern. He's experimenting stuff in Champions League that's why he's getting punished. But I think that Liverpool and Chelsea have a higher chance of winning the Champions League than Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, some teams definitely do perform better in Champions League than in their domestic league. I think sometimes it's fair to say that. I think that's been the case with Milan a lot, actually. Yeah, I mean, look, if Milan were to go to the Champions League and play against Real Madrid and we lose 5-0, then, you were right, we were wrong. But today, I don't see that happening. So, that's really where that is.
It's not happening because we have a good defense right now.
Well, that's good, no? You win 1-0, that's it.
But it's about scoring goals that we are lacking.
Yeah, and I think you get if I have a Rebic, a Diaz, a Ibrahimovic, and a Berardi. I mean, those are goals, man. Those are goals coming in.
I want to ask something to Jogo Benito.
Yeah.
Who would you exactly replace in the attack? Do you replace all 4, or 3 out of the 4? Who do you replace?
The Hakan. I would replace Hakan and better right winger. I don't think we can afford to buy another left winger since we have Leao, Hauge, Rebic. We're probably gonna buy Giroud, so we're not gonna spend a lot on the striker position. So those two, the right winger and the trequartista.
What are your names? What are the names that you would prefer?
I would like Depay.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And for the right winger, I don't know. Hikone, he might be cheap.
You think Icone? You think there's a big difference? You think Icone is that much better than Berardi?
I think that Icone might have a higher ceiling than Berardi.
Yeah, maybe. That's something that only time will tell for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree about Depay. Depay is a top player. He'd bring top player energy for sure.
I would also like to buy Renato Sanchez, but I don't think we have the money because with Kessie and Benacer out for 1-2 months, it's gonna be very difficult for us.
Yeah, for sure.
There is a guy in the chat. There is a bit of mess in the chat. Just calm down, guys. Relax. No fighting. It's a peaceful place. We're just talking about football and AC Milan.
Yeah. Look, I feel very positive about Milan, but it's not because of the players that we might have. It is because of the players that we already have. But hey, Jagabenito, you could be completely 100% right. Okay, I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. I'm just saying what I think. You're telling me what you think. I think that I think and hope Milan is going to do a great job this season, this transfer season, based on the realistic opportunities we get. And that's going to lead us to going deep into the Champions League. I'm not going to say we're going to win the Champions League. I think that's too much. But I think we're going to go deep.
Getting out of the groups might be a good achievement for us. Only the round of 16 would be nice for the first season, depending on who we get.
Yeah, okay. If we get out of the group stages, I think that would be a good achievement. Yeah, I don't think getting out of the group of 8 would be a good achievement, though.
I think if we're going to round 16 with 90,000 in San Siro and hopefully no major injuries, I don't think not a lot of team can beat us. Really few of them can beat us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if we go out, in the home of other teams, it's going to be difficult for us. But you can be any team. You come to the San Siro with a competitive AC Milan. Hey, man, we've seen Montolivo beat Barcelona. So
we're going to go on a counter-attack, man, outside San Siro.
Right.
Like a fucking proper Catenaccio and Theo and Leao, everyone running like bastards to the counter-attacks. We're going to be a pain in the ass for any club. They're going to be so. Get AC Milan.
I think we're going to be a pain in the ass in clubs. Yeah. Loris B says, "Hi guys, I have a question. How do you think clubs like PSG, Man City, or even Barcelona are getting away with financial fair play? But when it comes to the Milan, we're on a tight leash." Larry, do you have a good answer for this question?
So basically, PSG and Man City, I know that for sure. I don't know about Barcelona, but PSG and Man City, they get sponsorships from companies that are owned by the owners of the club. So Fly Emirates, if I'm not wrong, or whatever sponsor PSG has, the owner of the company is the owner of PSG. So they can sponsor as much money they want to the PSG club.
Oh, wow.
So even Man City does the same. They just, if they get a sponsorship from Saudi Arabia, wherever they are from, they can get as much as they want. Like Juventus with Jeep. Jeep is owned by the Agnelli family, no? Yeah. So when they get a sponsorship, they say, okay, these next 5 years, I need this money.
Gotcha.
So that's why.
Yeah. Now, hey, I'm going to repeat this, but if PSG and Leonardo start to buy players from us, Jaga Benitos, and then we lose Theo Hernandez and Kessie, then it's all over, okay? It's all over. It's done. It's over. We might as well go back to sleep.
I don't think they can afford to buy Kessie and Theo this summer.
I hope so. I hope they can't.
I mean, they couldn't afford a left back or a right back for 2-3 years now, and they're gonna spend now 140 million for Kessie and Theo. I don't think so.
I don't know where this money comes from, man. Seriously, let's be honest. The Liga 1 doesn't have even TV rights at the moment. It's just like crazy. I think these reports they need just to get some clicks on Twitter or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I don't think this money, these are the amounts we're talking about. But
yes. Jaga Benito, if there's one dream player that you would want at Milan, a player that is maybe not even achievable right now, who would it be?
De Bruyne.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That would be perfect. He's injured like all the AC Milan players this season.
He would be perfect for that attacking midfield role. Nobody would be better than him.
It's gonna make Salamakers look like Messi.
What happens if Salamakers starts scoring goals next season? Because I think eventually he is. Does that mean he becomes considered important player?
I think so, but scoring goals, you mean 10 or more in Serie A?
Yeah.
He's gonna surprise us all. I don't think anyone expects him to score more than 10 goals a season in Serie A.
Well, 10 goals is a lot, man. I hope he scores 10 goals next season.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 3 players that scored more than 10 goals: Kessie, Rebic, and Ibra, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm thinking because, he even stated in an interview recently, he stated, look, he knows that one of the parts of his technical aspect that is lacking is the goal scoring. So he said he wants to focus on that. And if Salamakers becomes a player that scores goals, we're talking about another player that could potentially be very, very good. Okay, guys, just a few more minutes, and then I have to close, unfortunately. But if you guys want to stay, you can stay. Lucas says, what do you guys think about Daniele Maldini? Anybody?
He needs game time.
Yeah, he needs to play. We have a lot of talent player. They need to find the right place and play more often. I really like Colombo, by the way.
Yeah, Colombo looks like they're going to send him out again for loan. He didn't have a good spell. He had a pretty poor loan. I think he didn't even make the first team. He was a bench player most of the time. He scored only 1 goal or something. He had a very bad loan spell. So he needs one more. They're going to send him out for 1 more year. Now, listen to what Lucas says. This is very interesting. Well, first of all, Carlos says he does not want to deal with the Europa League. I think we can all agree on that. Lucas says, I think he has the potential to be as good as Dybala.
Oh, come on.
Daniele Maldini. Dybala was pretty good at his age, at Maldini's age.
Dybala played in Palermo a lot.
He was winning games by himself. He was like humiliating Nesta in a game, man. I remember that.
Yeah. He did
something really bad to Nesta. I'm never gonna forget that.
Every time Dybala played against us when he was in Palermo, he would score goals.
He was a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
He was pretty talented. A lot of personality at that time. He was like 18. He was so young, 19. Scoring goals like he was in the, I don't know, the street with friends.
Right. As far as Maldini goes, honestly, I don't know. I think technically from what we saw, even as you say, Lucas, the game against Monza and other games too, I think I saw a lot of good things, but it's all up to how his mindset is, how his brain works, how his charisma, character, decision-making. He's still 18, right? In Italy, you're never going to see an 18-year-old kill it. That just does not happen in Italy. It's very rare that happens in Italy. Maybe when he's 22, 23, we're going to see what he's really made out of. All right, guys, a few more questions here.
I want to say to Lucas that I saw some clips and some videos of Adli, the guy in 2nd division in France. I think he's pretty good, yeah. He's a good player. He's a talented player. Still, I'm not sure if he can be a first choice for AC Milan next season as a number 10. But, yeah, if they have some 10 million to throw away, they should buy him.
Yeah. And I think Carlo Moretti is talking about Maldini, I think. And, yeah, I think Maldini probably needs to be loaned out and get some experience, yeah. Same as Hagwe. All right, guys, let's close the stream. Let's go to our final words. I'll go first. Well, guys, listen, The news about Theo bothers me. I don't like it. I'm very curious to see how Maldini and co are going to fight against these rumors and these attacks that we're definitely getting from not just PSG. PSG is the only team that the newspapers are saying. I'm pretty sure that Bayern is looking for Theo. Madrid is probably looking again for Theo. All these teams. So I want to see how the team reacts to these teams that are looking for our players. I am looking forward to seeing what happens with Calhanoglu this week. If De Paul comes in, then guys, from what I know, we aren't getting Berardi. So it's all to be seen. Maybe we're getting both. I don't know. But I am pretty optimistic. As always, I think that by the end of it, Milan is going to do a great job, and we are going to go deep in the Champions League. All right, guys, take it away. Anybody?
Oh my God, what should I say? I don't know, man. You said everything. I'm not worried about Theo Hernandez, and I like the answer Maldini gave. Theo Hernandez value is the same of the brother, 80 million. So,
Oh, really? He said that?
Yeah.
This is what I want to hear, man. Okay, good. When did he say that?
I think he said it in I don't know if it was an interview or on the website. They say something like that.
Yeah,
But-
this is good. I want to hear these kind of things. So Theo's brother's worth 80 million?
Yeah, Bayern Munich bought him for 80 million. I don't think if you have a bit, PSG needs to renew Mbappe contract, and they're buying 80 million there, 80 million left, and 80 million right. I don't think so, man.
Right. But this is what I want. I want to hear things like that. I want to hear pushback. Because this is what we always got. Galliani, Berlusconi was pushback. If I hear pushback, I'm happy. That's all I need. That's all I need to hear.
They pushed back City in January, and they sold Kaká in the summer to Real Madrid. So the pushback of Galliani and Berlusconi has always been a bit weak. They pushed back for Shevchenko the previous summer, and they sold it in the last summer.
No, it is true. Like after that period, it was clear that Milan did not have the leverage it used to have, and the castle was starting to crumble. So this is another reason why I'm a little bit worried, because guys, Theo is top player. Everybody wants to buy Theo. All right, let's leave it at that. Jaga Benito.
I would like us to get the Toulouse guy, the one from the second division in France. I think he has a good potential. He might be very cheap. I don't know, maybe push for the pie. I would like some one good signing to be like, look, the Milan has spent in the summer. They brought De Paul or Berardi for 40 million or something. I would like to be more excited for this mercato.
Do you want us to show the Gucci belt, man?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree with you. 100%. Anything else?
I would like us to not get a hard draw in Champions League, because playing against Ajax, Barcelona, Bayern might not be our most ideal group. So getting out of the Champions League would be a very, very good season for me. Maintaining top 4, I won't mind if we don't win the title. Keeping our best players, not selling them to clubs like PSG, City, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm positive for this coming season. I don't think we have been this excited for the new season for
Many years.
For very, very
Almost 10 years.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Don't get too excited.
Don't get too excited. Saif, you're going to finish it for today. Give us your last words.
Yeah, I mean, one message for the fans. All this hype, and not hype, I mean, all these news that we're gonna sell Theo, we might sell Kessie, we might sell. It's all bullshit, man. They do it all for the clicks. Theo Hernandez is not leaving Milan. I think he loves the club way too much. And even if he's gonna leave, it's way too early for that. I don't think, especially with Maldini being there, I don't think he's gonna allow that to happen. Other than that, I kind of disagree with some points. I think the team is good enough. I think we have a very good unit. The only position that I would be disappointed if we don't get reinforcement is the cam position. I'm maybe in the minority that thinks Salamakers is good enough. If he improves his finishing, I love this player. He's a very good talent. Just replacing Hakan, to be honest, with a class talent and getting a good bench, and I think we're good to go.
Nice. All right. Yep. All right, guys. Well, having said that, thank you everybody for being here. Buonanotte for everybody who's late nights right now. I guess you guys in Europe. Buongiorno for the people in the Western Hemisphere over here. So, guys, Forza Milan sempre. Always, let's do this one for good luck. And having said that, guys, we're doing the next live is going to be Friday, so please join us Friday. Maybe we're going to have another live before, we'll see. But Forza Milan a tutti, and let's see what this mercato brings. Arrivederci, ciao.
Forza Milan.
Ciao.